You're watching the Yes Network, the home of champions.
There's been plenty to smile about for the Rays this season. Just a short 2 years from a shocking trip to the Fall Classic, the Rays are proving that was no fluke. Young, energetic players have propelled Tampa Bay out of the gate to the best record in the bigs. Right behind them are the defending champs, bruised and battered but still battling. The usual stars have carried the Yankees to a great start. Tonight, the Rays come to the Bronx for the first time this season. The youthful Rays on sports' grandest stage. The top two teams in baseball, Rays, Yankees, tonight on Yes. It is indeed a marquee matchup at Yankee Stadium tonight. A.J. Burnett will throw the first pitch. He'll get the start for the Yankees. And in the American League East, you have the two best teams in baseball atop that division. The Rays have the best record in baseball. The Yankees the second best. They are 3 games back, followed by the Jays, the Red Sox, and the Orioles. As tonight, Kia Motors presents the Wednesday game of the week, New York Yankees baseball. It's the defending champion New York Yankees against the Tampa Bay Rays in the first of 2 from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, New York. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Yankees baseball. Along with Ken Singleton, I'm Michael Kay. Well, the Yankees have to bounce back from a very difficult loss. They had a 5-0 lead yesterday. They ended up blowing it and losing 7-6. A lot happened in that ninth inning. Most of all, the Yankees couldn't execute.
They certainly could. In the opening game of the series, they won in the ninth inning. Last night, the Red Sox came away with a win in the ninth. Marcus Thames, some confusion with Robinson Cano, eventually led to this big hit by Jeremy Hermida. A line drive over the head of Randy Wynn, and the Red Sox had 2 runs, and eventually a 7-6 victory over the Yankees.
Well, on this homestand, which is 7 games long, 5 games have already been played. 3-2 the Yankees are. 7 runs a game, that's great. Batting average 320, that's great. Starters ERA, that's great. Why are they losing games? The bullpen, 8.40, 15 innings in this homestand, 25 hits, 17 runs, 14 of them are earned. So you know that A.J. Burnett wants to stay out of the bullpen tonight. He gets start for the Yankees, 4-1, 3.31. Wade Davis goes for the Tampa Bay Rays, 3-3 with a 3.38 ERA. And one thing about A.J. Burnett, Kenny, he loves pitching against Tampa.
Well, the Yankees signed him primarily because he's very good against the teams in the East, including the Yankees. But against the Rays, he's won more games against them than any other team in the division, and he shut them down earlier this season. Now, going back to last year, he was very tough on the Rays as well, and A.J. Burnett has pitched his best baseball here at Yankee Stadium this year.
He really has, and obviously the numbers against the Rays are outstanding. We'll give you those a little bit later on. Evan Longoria, the cleanup hitter for the Rays. We'll talk about him going in depth in segment 2 next. And the Tampa Bay Rays come to town. They bring along one of the best players in the game, Evan Longoria, their third baseman, 318, 9 homers, and 35 ribbies, which is good for second in the American League to Miguel Cabrera of the Tigers, who has 36. Hi, everybody. That's Ken Singleton. I'm Michael Kay. We'll have the first pitch in a couple of minutes. Now, if you look at the Rays, none of the numbers of the individual players jump out at you, except for Longoria. He's got big-time numbers.
He's the face of their organization and will be for a very, very long time. One of the best players in baseball. The next big thing, as far as third basemen are concerned, the Yankees have Alex Rodriguez. But Longoria, early in his career, established himself as one of the best all-around players, besides being a good hitter. He's a Gold Glove winner last year, won the Silver Slugger for third baseman. That represents being the best hitter at your position in the league. Evan Longoria, a big-time ball player.
A lot of big-time ball players in this game. When you have the teams with the two best records in the game, you can have stars. They're out tonight. Lineups, first pitch baseball, coming up next right here on Yes. Brought to you in part by Kia Motors. To learn more, visit kia.com. By Blimpie, America's Sub Shop. And by Acura. Acura. Advance. Nice evening here at Yankee Stadium, in stark contrast to what we had last night with the cold weather and the rain. Big crowd expected for the Yankees against the Rays, the two teams with the best records in baseball. Here's the Rays starting lineup presented by Lexus. Jason Bartlett, the shortstop, will lead off. Batting second and playing left field, Carl Crawford. Ben Zobrist in right field hits third. Cleaning up and playing third, Evan Longoria. Carlos Peña's been slumping. First baseman will bat fifth. Batting sixth, also slumping, center fielder B.J. Upton. Hank Blaylock, the DH, will hit seventh. Batting eighth and catching John Jaso. And Reed Brignac, the second baseman, is going to bat ninth.
There is A.J. Burnett taking his final warm-up tosses in the middle of the diamond for the Yankees. He is about ready to get this game started. There are his numbers on the year. 8 starts, 4-1 record, excellent ERA, 3.31. Opponents hitting just .269, 36 strikeouts in 51 and 2/3 innings. Let's go for the scouting report on A.J. Burnett. 12 wins against the Rays. It's the most he's beaten one team in the major leagues. He's beaten them a dozen times. His ERA at Yankee Stadium this year, a minuscule, 0.86. That represents the best of any pitcher in his own ballpark. And he hasn't given up a home run to a right-handed hitter this year.
Well, this should be fun. A real test for both teams. The Yankees, as I said, battered and bruised, but they have persevered. And now they face the Rays. Bartlett's ready, so is A.J. Burnett. And let's do it here at the stadium. First pitch is inside, and we are underway. Bartlett, one hit in his last 11 at-bats. And that one is driven deep to left field. Going back, Wynn, looking up, see ya. An inauspicious beginning for Burnett as the Rays jump out to a 1-0 lead.
Well, that ends the answer to a trivia question for this year. Who was the player that had the most RBIs without a home run? It was Jason Bartlett. He had 20 runs batted in without a homer until this pitch. That's his first home run of the year. And another added bonus, his last 21 home runs have been solo shots. And that is getting close to the major league record. He's only 2 away.
Here's Carl Crawford. Is that 21 in a row or just 21 solo shots?
21 home runs in a row have been solo shots for Jason Bartlett. The record is 23, and it's held by 3 different players.
Crawford grounds it to Jeter. 1 out. Let's take a look at the Yankees defense, brought to you by Mercedes. In the outfield, the Yankees have Randy Winn, Brett Gardner, and Marcus Thames, left to right. Third to first, Alex Rodriguez, Derek Jeter, Robinson Cano, and Juan Miranda, making a second start at first. Mark Teixeira is the DH tonight. Francisco Cervelli behind the plate, and A.J. Burnett is on the mound. Here's Ben Zobrist. How often do you find a team with a great record have a number 3 hitter that doesn't have a home run? And that's the case with Ben Zobrist. Got 156 at-bats without a homer. And there's a strike. Now for Bartlett, that was his 3rd career leadoff home run. Strangely enough, all of them at Yankee Stadium. I was talking to David Price, the young pitcher who will not pitch in the series for the Rays. 6-1, 1.81 ERA. And I said, does this Tampa Bay team, and there's David, get jacked up playing the big stage in New York, the bright lights? He said, you know what? I'd be lying if I said we don't. Of course. He said, you get up for these games, and you should get up for all games. He said, but this building and this team, it makes it kind of special as Zobrist gets a single.
Zobrist is another Ray who got off to a slow start, but he's starting to come on with the bat.
Well, let's look at the game time weather conditions presented by Bigelow Tea. It's 62 degrees, 68% humidity, not much wind, and the forecast is much better than it was last night. It's just cloudy tonight.
Last night was just miserable.
Tomorrow's supposed to be summer-like.
I'll go for it. Baseball's a summer game.
Here's Evan Longoria, 35 ribbies. Runner goes. Strike, throw to second. Not in time. Stolen base for Zobrist.
That's another big part of the Rays game. Zobrist now has 8 stolen bases. He has not been caught this year. Did not waste time. Got off to a pretty good start. You would figure he would go early in the count to give Longoria a good chance to see some pitches. That one's right down the middle. Here's a throw to second. You know what? I think they got him. Did he tag him in the middle of the back before the hand reached?
Yes.
Yeah, he's out. That should have been a caught stealing.
Mark Carlson is the second base ump. Pitch to Longoria. A strike. Here's the IOTV HD Super Shot, and you can see clearly that he is out.
Oh, there was plenty of daylight there.
The 0-2. High fly ball center field. Off the end of the bat. Gardner is there. He'll make the play for the second out.
The Rays got off to a good start with the bats in April, but in May they have not quite been swinging the bats as well, and it hasn't really hurt them because their pitching's been so good. Particularly the starters have been excellent. So days that they don't score very much, they can hold the opposition down. And here's one hitter who's really struggled.
191, 6 for his last 58. He has not had a home run in 61 at bats. That's 16 games. And he's 3 for 29 against A.J. Burnett. So a lot of things going against Pena here. One thing that goes for him, he hits home runs against the Yankees in bunches. 15 of them against the Yanks. He's in the final year of his contract. 3 significant players for the Rays are playing out the string. Carlos Pena, Carl Crawford, and their closer, Soriano. So a lot of people look at this as a team where the window is closing. Yankees have the shift on, 3 infielders on the right side.
Since the last time the Yankees saw the Rays in the opening week of the season and A.J. Burnett beat them on April 11th at Tropicana Field. The Rays have gone 25-8. Joe Madden stressed that this year they wanted to get off to a good start as opposed to last year when they struggled early in the season and they fell behind the Yankees and the Red Sox and couldn't catch up.
Cervelli wants to make sure they get this right, so he'll go out and talk with A.J. Burnett.
We just saw that shot of Joe Madden on in the Rays dugout, and I think one thing that he deserves a lot of credit for, he's basically changed the culture of this whole team and the whole organization. You know, this is his 5th year as the Rays manager. When he got there, they weren't very good, and now they've kind of built it up to the point where they expect to win. They've been to a World Series. They lost to the Phillies 2 years ago. But he has just changed the culture, and he's made them believers that they have a good ball club and a good organization. And I think that's the one thing he has done more than anything else to change a franchise that was among the dregs of the major leagues.
1-1. 31 years in the Angels organization, and he was a bench coach from 96 to 05. Many people doubted would he ever get a chance as a manager. He finally did here with the Rays. Got the job in 05. Manager of the year in 08. And most managerial wins in franchise history. Remember, Lou Piniella managed here, so a pretty good manager. But they finally all put it together. The young players matured at the right time. Count 3-1. Home plate umpire is Jeff Nelson. Let's meet the rest of the guys. There's Nelson. At first base, Larry Vanover. He's the crew chief. Mark Carlson at second. And Angel Campos is over third. Now, the Yankees protested yesterday's game because they felt that A.J. Burnett wasn't hurt when they took him out, but their protest kind of took a slap today because the Red Sox, Josh Beckett, I'm sorry, the Red Sox ended up putting Beckett on the DL today. So that doesn't help the protest. He was obviously hurt with a bad back. A lot of time here. You can see the umpire wants to speed things up.
Yeah, but my point, Michael, was the way the process went of taking him out of the game. There had been no visit to the mound before to say that there was any discomfort. And I thought Joe Girardi had a legitimate beef. Actually, John Farrell, the pitching coach, went out to the mound and he motioned to the bullpen, and Manny Del Carmen had just started throwing. So the whole idea is that you can go out there anytime, say, well, my pitch is hurt, and have the reliever come in and throw as many pitches as you want. That's not the way it should be. There should be a visit before, just look, there's some discomfort here. So I agree with the protesting. I don't know if it's going to work out, but I agree with it.
Grounded into the teeth of the shift from short right field. Cano will gun down Carlos Pena for the final out of the first. 1 run on 2 hits, 1 left, and the hit that put the run, leadoff batter Jason Bartlett. Rays 1, Yankees coming to bat. presented by Lexus. The captain, the shortstop, Derek Jeter, will lead off. Batting second and playing center field, Brett Gardner. Mark Teixeira DHs tonight. He'll hit third. Cleaning up and playing third is Alex Rodriguez. Robinson Cano at second base will bat fifth. Batting sixth and catching, Francisco Cervelli. Marcus Thames in right field will hit seventh. The number 8 hitter, first baseman Juan Miranda. And Randy Wins at left field. He's going to bat ninth.
24-year-old Wade Davis, the number 5 starter for the Rays, is on the bump tonight. He'll do the pitching. This is his resume for this year. 7 starts, 3-3. He's lost his last 2. 3.38, 27 strikeouts in 40 innings, but also 21 walks and 32 hits allowed. Here's his scouting report. Right-handed batters, he's pretty tough on them. They're hitting only 197. He threw 2 no-hitters in the minor leagues. One of those games he lost. And he's a Marlboro man. Lives up in Ulster County, Marlboro, New York.
Derek Jeter takes a strike from Davis. Now, one of the strengths of this Rays team, their pitching. Their team ERA is 2.69. That's tied with San Diego for the best in baseball. Now, obviously, it's the first in the American League. It's a full run better than the second place team, and that's the Yankees, who have a 3.69 ERA. There's Jim Hickey, the pitching coach. All 5 starters are clicking, and the bullpen's doing a nice job. In fact, their bullpen, that's a 2.98 ERA. So first in overall ERA, first in batting average against, first in quality starts, and first in WHIP, which is walks and hits per innings pitched. Hickey actually came over from the Astros, and you wondered why he made that jump. On that Astro staff, he had Roger Clemens, Andy Pettitte, Roy Oswalt, to name a few. And when he came here to Tampa Bay, it wasn't pretty, but he's turned it into a real solid situation.
One thing about Davis is a tendency to get that pitch count up early in ball games, and gets around the 100 mark, 100 pitch mark in the 5th or 6th inning, and then the Rays have to go to the bullpen.
Swing and a miss. Jeter down on strikes. Let's take a look at the Rays defense, brought to you by Mercedes. In the outfield, you've got Carl Crawford in left, B.J. Upton in center, and Ben Zobrist over in right. Infield, Longoria, who won the Gold Glove last year, Bartlett, Brignac, and Pena. Pretty good defensive infield. John Jaso behind the plate. And Wade Davis is on the mound. Here's Brett Gardner. Tenth in the American League in hitting with a .321 average. 6 hits in his last 22 at-bats. Takes the first pitch outside.
One thing Gardner's been able to do this year is score runs at a very rapid clip. He is second in the American League in runs scored, tied with Evan Longoria. They both have 32.
Showed bunt there, but then pulled it back.
And of course, one thing he can do to help himself score runs, he can score from first base on a double. He can move himself into scoring position with stolen bases.
3-0. Is a strike. And now work the count full at 3-2. Matty Petty work. And Brett Gardner works a lot, and that's not what Davis wants to do. Put Gardner's stolen base ability on first base for free.
Yeah, we showed you his numbers. A lot of walks, a lot of strikeouts. Does it enable A.J. Burnett to see the signs more clearly?
Here's Mark Teixeira. The shift on for Teixeira. Almost the whole left side of the infield's open. You know what can happen here, Kenny? If Gardner steals second and Longoria covers and the ball just bounces in the dirt for a moment, boom, he can take off for third.
You mean Johnny Damon?
Yeah. World Series Johnny Damon.
Whoa.
Oh, they picked him off. Well, he was going, and he gets tagged out.
That's going to go as a caught stealing because he was trying to advance to second base. It'll go 1 to 3, and you can see the false step, and he knew he was in trouble. And didn't require a throw as Carlos Pena is going to run him down with the threat of a throw. That makes Gardner slow down, and there's the tag for the out. Quick footwork by Wade Davis.
No love lost between Teixeira and the Rays. He was tied with Pena last year coming into the final series in Tampa Bay, and they threw at him first time up, and then the rest of the series never gave him anything to hit. They threw right at his head, by the way. One, two.
Yeah, Teixeira did not hit a home run in that last series, and he ended up tied with Carlos Pena. Now, Pena was out with a broken hand. Now, here's that's David Price. Oh, man. You'd be amazed how quickly you can move when the danger is imminent. I mean, just, man.
And the Rays were angry because Pena got hurt against the Yankees on a ball that he actually was swinging at. Broke his hand and missed the rest of the year. So they felt that since he didn't have the chance to really hit as many home runs as he could have, they were protecting part of that title as Teixeira swings and misses. So Wade Davis strikes out 2 in the first inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. We've played one at the stadium. It's 1-0 Tampa Bay.
As far as we were concerned, I mean, 2008, of course, was all perfect. Everything worked out well. And you go to the World Series, everybody's in love. But last year, we got off to a horrible start and then eventually had to fight back. We fought, but then we ran out of gas. And we had that dig me week, that dig me month in the beginning of the year. Everybody's telling us how great we were. And we had, you have to deal with that also in the right way. So I think last year we learned a lot of really good life lessons. And I think it's really helped us get off to the better start this year.
Well, that is the Rays manager, Joe Maddon. And again, I was talking to Price earlier, Kenny. He said every time that Maddon met the team in spring training, any kind of meeting, he would really drive home the point, we've got to get off to a good start. And he wanted to wash out the taste of last year. There's a strike count 0-2 to B.J. Upton.
Upton's one of the guys who needs to show improvement. He's hitting just .217, 8 for his last 59 over his last 16 games. That works out to a .136 batting average. He's also only driven in 3 runs in his last 20. But I had a talk with Derek Shelton, the hitting coach, who used to manage in the Yankees organization. He said Upton's starting to hit the ball a little better.
Just missed. Upton struggles against A.J. Burnett, 6 for 31 with 15 strikeouts.
So he strikes out half the time?
Mm-hmm. Well, those are the best records in baseball. The Rays are first, Yankees second, Phillies next, the Twins after that, and then the Padres and the Reds. How about that for a surprise? Tied for 5th. So the Reds are in first place in the Central, and the Padres in first place in the NL West. That one is lofted out to right, and Marcus Thames makes the play. Well, it's time for the Toyota text poll. Tonight's question is, which of these first-place teams is the biggest surprise in baseball? You can text your vote to 58772. Standard text messaging rates apply. And here are your choices. The Rays, the Rangers, the Reds, or the Padres. I would vote for the Padres. There's a strike to Hank Blaylock.
I would vote for the Padres, but I think I'll vote for the Reds because the St. Louis Cardinals are in their division. Pretty good ball club.
Nub the other way. They just called Blaylock up. He was with them in spring training, and a numbers game caused him not to make the team. Then he just tore it up at AAA, 349 at AAA Durham, and then he had a clause in his contract that either you call me up or I'm going to declare myself a free agent. As he could not hold up, and he goes down on strike, so they didn't want to lose him. They called him up, and they designated for assignment Pat Burrell, who's making an awful lot of money in the second year of his contract. And, Kenny, this is an organization that can't afford to make bad decisions like that. They have to eat the remainder of his $8 million salary.
Yeah, but shortly after, I read an article in the St. Petersburg Times that said that they felt that Pat Burrell was the worst mistake that the Rays have ever made.
Here's John Jaso. Fly ball left field. Randy Wynn is there, and a nice comeback inning by A.J. Burnett as he retires the Rays in order 1-2-3. We go to the bottom of the second. Rays 1-0 over the Yankees. With Jeff Nelson between innings. Not quite sure at this point what that was about, but we do know what the upcoming schedule is, and it's brought to you by Acela Express. Enjoy the journey. One more game against Tampa Bay. That's tomorrow night. It closes out this homestand. Then the Yankees go on a really long trip for their next series. They go to Citi Field, where they'll play 3 games against the Mets, all-night games. Monday's an off day, and then traveling to Minneapolis to see the new ballpark, Target Field. The Twins against the Yankees, 3 games. And then they start a 4-game set against Cleveland here at the stadium. So you're all caught up. You know where things are going right now. It's going to the bottom of the second. Rays 1-0 over the Yanks. Here's Alex Rodriguez. Pitch is high.
Michael, we were talking about the players with extended time in the minor leagues a bit last night, and one player on the Rays who qualifies is their catcher. We just saw him briefly flying out to left field to end the last inning. But John Jaso, 8 years in the minor leagues.
Driven out to right field, slicing, and it's a foul ball.
And Jaso was called up from Durham when Kelly Shopik was injured, had knee surgery. And he's been playing pretty well and is taking some time away from Deanna Navarro. So John Jaso doing a lot of the catching for the Rays lately. They're known as a good defensive catcher. 5-time All-Star in the minors.
Breaking ball is a strike, count 2-2. Navarro's just not hitting. He had that one All-Star season and really has fallen. And he can't get up. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Alex Rodriguez down on strikes. 3 strikeouts for Wade Davis.
Davis has good stuff. Remember, he told you 2 no-hitters in the minors. The target was in, and that one got away from him. He still got a strikeout. It looked like it cut a little bit off the outside corner.
And there's Deanna. And here's Robinson Cano. Robinson with 9 home runs, although he has not had a home run in 60 at-bats. Strike by Davis.
He was out here earlier today working with Kevin Long and trying to shorten up his swing. Sometimes when you get a little lengthy with your swing, and that can be a sign of maybe getting a little tired. But with so many of the Yankees injured and banged up, the guys that are healthy are going to not miss many games during this period of time.
387 first 24 games. He's come down to earth the last 15. 224 as he grounds that one foul. IOTV offers you incredible HD picture and sound. HD is free with IOTV, the official HD service provider of Yankees baseball on Yes.
Cano did have 2 doubles here last night. Drove in 3 runs.
Had a spirited discussion today about a maneuver that both New York managers made last night that didn't work. Jerry Manuel, with the score tied in the 9th inning, had a runner on second, nobody out, and he bunted the runner over to third.
Didn't work?
Didn't work. They didn't score. The Yankees, after Cano doubled in Alex Rodriguez to make it 7-6, had a runner at second, nobody out. That one is lofted into center field. They're 2-away, and they decided to have Cervelli bunt. Now, my complaint, why I don't think that's a great move, is the guy's in scoring position already. So you'd have 3 chances to get him in. Now, once you lay down the bunt, you've given Papelbon an out, which he's been unable to get, and he struggled the night before, and the Yankees never got Cano in from third, and Cervelli's one of their best hitters. Here he is with runners in scoring position.
Yeah, but one of the things, too, when you want to look at the other way, Cervelli's also one of their best bunters.
That one is lined to left field, giving chase. Crawford, he can't get there. He's going to bounce into the seats for a double.
That's what you were looking for last night, Michael?
A chance to do it, I'll tell you that.
That's the first hit for the Yankees, and Cervelli ropes one into the corner. Oh, this is a bullet. But he did lay down a perfect sacrifice bunt in a tough situation last night when the The Red Sox are looking for it. If Speedy Carl Crawford cannot get it, there is not a left fielder in the league who's going to make that play. And a happy young man. He'll be back.
Paid off, bringing his glove. Here's Marcus Thames. I love the way Thames handled the media yesterday. Took total blame. I've got to catch that ball. I have no excuses. I called off Robinson Cano, and I just took my eye off the ball for a second. I've got to make that play. He didn't make any excuse about the weather, anything like that, which he shouldn't have. He handled it the right way.
They say I'm a major leaguer. I should make that catch.
How about this shift? 3 infielders on the left side, only Pena on the right side. That's one thing that the Rays do a lot. They drastically shift. And they go by their scouting reports and they almost dare a hitter to go against the shift. If he hits a ground ball to Pena, let's just say a foot to his right, it'd be a tough play because Wade Davis is going to have to cover, and that's a long throw.
I can't remember the last time I see Marcus Thames hit a ground ball on the right side.
I guess that's why they're doing it.
Exactly. You know what? If he hits it the way he wants to, you can put they can put all 9 guys over to the left of second. But look at this.
Well, they leave nothing to the imagination, and they've also spelled Teixeira's name wrong. Told you there's no love lost. That's fouled away.
You know, if he hits it the way he wants to, you can put 9 guys on the left side of second base, and nobody's going to get him. That young man who just caught that ball have a better shot than any one of the people on the field.
2-2 count. And the pitch. It's 3-2. Now, this is the second full count that Wade Davis has gone to. Coming into this game, he's gone to a full count on 20% of the batters that he's faced, and that's the American League's highest percentage.
And that's why he has 100 or so pitches by the 5th or 6th inning.
3-2. He walked it. Hey, this weekend, the Yankees head to Queens for a series with the Mets. Coverage on Yes starts Friday at 6 with batting practice today presented by Audi and the Tri-State Ford pregame. Then, Saturday and Sunday, turn to Yes after the games for Yankees Extra Innings, our interactive postgame show. It all starts Friday night, then it's right here on Yes.
Marcus Thames turned it into a walking man. It's the 4th walk in the last 2. This game's not over. He walked 3 times last night. He walks his first time tonight.
There's Juan Miranda. And a big shift on Miranda with 3 infielders on the right side. There's no shift for this, though, Kenny.
Exactly. You know what was impressive about this home run? That pitch was on the outside corner. He's able to hook it and moving away from him, and he hooked it into the Yankee bullpen. That's a power.
Miranda gave it the best shot, and he does have shift next to his name. He gave it the best shot yesterday, Kenny, in the 9th inning to try to get in Cano. He had a hot shot right back to Papelbon, who made a beautiful play with Pena running from first and checked both runners back and got Miranda.
That was the ball game right there.
Yep.
And give Papelbon credit. He made the right decision. He checked the runner at third, looked at second, then threw the first for the sure out. And that was out number 2.
Count 2-1. Cervelli's at second. Tim's at first. Davis has thrown 38 pitches so far, and we're just in the 2nd inning.
Have a discussion out on the mound. This is Jaso trying to get on the same page. We were talking about Davidson as his minor league exploits. He was actually the Rays minor league pitcher of the year in 2007. And when the Rays signed him, he turned down a chance to go to University of Florida. So either way, he was going to end up in that state, Sunshine State.
High pop up left side. Longoria a long look. Runs out of room. High pop-up. Shallow left. Crawford will make the play for the final out of the second. No runs a hit, no errors, and 2 men left on base. We played 2. It's 1-0 Rays. And one of the big differences with this team is that their bullpen has somebody at the end of it. The Dodge scoreboard shows Tampa Bay with a 1-0 lead, and Kimberly Jones joins us from the third base camera well. And Kim, the bullpen is a big difference for this team because last year they were blowing games where they had leads.
They were, and Joe Madden was doing closer by committee all season long. That is not the case this year, Michael. As the Rays signed Rafael Soriano on the free agent market, he was a Brave last year. He's a Ray this year and is 10 for 10 in save opportunities. The Rays players telling me before the game he has been a great part of our success so far this season, and Madden tells me, yes, now everyone knows their roles. They did have a setback when J.P. Howell was injured the other day. They hadn't seen him at all this season. He underwent shoulder surgery this morning and will miss the rest of the season. But they believe, thanks to Soriano, this bullpen is strong enough. Another thing about Soriano, by the way, he's a great cook. He brings in all kinds of Latin dishes for his teammates. They love them. They love the pork chops, the chicken stew, the beef dishes. And B.J. Upton tells me I missed out on the chicken stew, but I never missed the beans and rice. He is quite a cook, Michael.
And in all likelihood, this is probably his one-and-done year because I don't know if they can afford him for another year.
Well, and they are hoping this is a very big year, so they'll take him for that year.
Now, from the mundane, which is just baseball, the Yankees did something really nice before the game. They had an honorary Batgirl, and it's really a special story, Kim.
It absolutely is. This is part of the Susan G. Komen for the Cure initiative. Lori Bauer from Sleepy Hollow, New York, was here today. She is the 2010 winner of their honorary Batgirl contest. She threw out the first pitch to Nick Swisher. Great job there. She also helped to deliver the lineup card to home plate. She's here with her husband, Freddie. Her parents flew in from Chicago. In 2002, Lori Bauer was diagnosed with breast cancer, just 32 at that time. She told me she's been fighting ever since. She had a big smile on her face, Michael. She couldn't wait to meet Jeter and Teixeira and Mo and Swisher and all of the guys today. 15 months ago, she learned that her cancer had not only returned, but it is terminal. She told me, I'm just so happy to be here today. And is it always the case? People like that who deserve some joy in their life thankfully get it for a few hours here at Yankee Stadium, and I think the rest of it learn a little bit about perspective.
Well, at the same time, a sad and an uplifting story. So well, thank you, Kim, and we'll see you on the postgame.
Thank you, Michael.
So a walk to Brignac to load up or to start this inning, and Jason Bartlett lays down a bunt. Alex Rodriguez fields and fires, and they just get Bartlett as that moves Brignac to second. So a guy who hit a home run to lead off the game now sacrifices a runner to second base.
Here's a look at it. A-Rod had a little bit of a problem getting the ball out of his glove and just got it to first base in time to pick up the out. Watch the little, he couldn't get the grip, but he has a strong enough arm. Did he get him? Yep, he did. So that go down as a sacrifice, 5-3, that moves a runner into scoring position.
Here's Carl Crawford, and he skips rope to get out of the way. Nope, he actually got hit, so he's going to go to first. And Brignac, who had scampered to third, now has to go back to second. So Crawford hit with a pitch.
Watch Crawford and the quick feet trying to get out of the way, but not quite quick enough. Hit the ground, then hit him. Hit by a pitch.
A lot of talk coming into the season that the Rays didn't get off to a good start, and they were trailing in the division, and the playoffs looked like it wasn't a certainty that Crawford would probably be dealt. That's not going to happen because they've got a chance, and they'll just ride it out, and he will probably leave as a free agent. They'll offer him arbitration, so they'll get a couple of draft picks for their troubles, but no draft pick is going to turn out to be Carl Crawford, you would think. Although he was a draft pick.
And he was a second-round pick.
One to Zobrist outside.
And basically that's how the Rays built their ball club, through the draft. They had some tremendous drafts all those years of finishing down the pike in last place in the Eastern Division. 9 Major League seasons, all with Tampa, 3-time All-Star. He's their all-time hit leader, American League triples leader, 2004, 2006, stolen base leader 4 times. All-time leader in hits and runs and stolen bases and all those offensive numbers. He's a pretty darn good left fielder, too.
So first and second. 2-1 count on Zobrist. Opponents are 11 for 55 this year. That's 200 with runners in scoring position against Burnett. Count 3-1. He doesn't seem as if he has the fastball command that he usually does when he's on. He's just allowed that 1 run, but he's working into some trouble. And he walked him. That wasn't even close. So now the bases are loaded on 2 walks and a hit batter. Dave Island's going to come out and talk with his pitcher.
Well, one thing the Rays have done this year, now their overall team batting average isn't all that high, but they have hit with runners in scoring position. They've made the most of their chances. And particularly the player comes to the plate right now. Well,
boxing is returning to Yankee Stadium. Come out to the stadium on Saturday, June 5th for the Stadium Slugfest when the undefeated WBA Super Welterweight champion Yuri Foreman defends his title against three-time world champion Miguel Cotto. Get your tickets today at yankees.com/boxing to see the history of boxing continue at Yankee Stadium. Cotto was actually here earlier. Press conference at the stadium. Took some pictures with several Yankees, including Javi Vasquez, a fellow countryman from Puerto Rico. Longoria with a fly ball to center in the first, so he's 0 for 1. That one's popped up. Marcus Thames settling underneath it. Reed Brignac tags. Here's the throw. And there's no play as Brignac slides home on the sac fly by Longoria. His 36 ribby, and it gives the Rays a 2-0 lead.
On the play, Crawford also tagged to move over to third. So the Rays have picked up a run without the benefit of a hit this inning. You can see Thames hanging back, getting some momentum to make the throw home. But one thing about these Rays, there's a lot of speed on this ball club. Maybe overall the fastest team in the league. And Brignac scores relatively easy from third.
Well, that bat waggled on that. Here's Carlos Pena. And a strike. Pena, final season of a 3-year deal that he signed, and unless he takes a huge cut and pay and gives the Rays a discount, he's probably not coming back either. One of the things we're saying, it seems like we're sounding the death knell for the Rays. They have a very good farm system, and I think that they could actually absorb some of these losses and still be competitive. I don't know if they'll be as good.
Yeah, it's hard to replace seasoned major leaguers who are proven to be able to do the job. You know, I don't think the Rays got the boost that they thought they were going to get by getting to the World Series in 2008, which would have been last year. And I'm speaking at the gate. They averaged a little over what the major league average was. I think they thought they'd get even more of a boost attendance-wise, and it didn't work out that way, which is unfortunate because maybe that could have helped them think about keeping some of these guys.
1-2. Grounded softly to Miranda. He'll step on the bag, and that'll do it. As Kenny said, 1 run on no hits. 2 walks, sac fly, hit by pitch, and 2 runners left. Brought to you by Johnny Walker. Demand greatness in every sip and every season. Johnny Walker, proud sponsor of the New York Yankees. Back on this date in 1990. 20 years ago. Wow. Don Mattingly hits a walk-off double in the 11th to score Steve Sachs from first, and it gave the Yankees a 5-4 win over the Kansas City Royals.
Time flies.
Too fast. The pitch to Randy Wynn is a strike. Randy Wynn struck out to end the game last night. Yankees had runners on base, and Wynn could not get it done. Dodge scoreboard 2-0. Tampa Bay leads the Yankees.
It's almost as if your life is like an hourglass, and when you're young, you see all the sand in the top part of the hourglass. And as you get older, those grains of sand seem to be running a lot more quickly into the bottom half of the glass.
Well, you have now sufficiently depressed me. The 0-2. Count 1 and 2.
But you know what I mean, right?
Yes. Yeah. That's why younger people drive fast and older people drive slow. That one's foul tipped into the glove of Jaso. And 4 strikeouts for Wade Davis. Want to remind everybody to stay tuned during the 6th inning for a message from our friends at the Fox Business Network.
Derek Jeter's got another milestone coming up. 8 more hits for 2,800. That's a nice round number.
He has the most hits of any active player in baseball.
And I don't know if Bernie Williams is watching, but Jeter's only 4 doubles behind him for second on the all-time Yankee doubles list.
And Bernie, knowing that, might actually try to come back because he still is not officially retired.
You know, I haven't heard him utter those words.
No, and I don't think he will. He still thinks he can play. You know he can play guitar. Nominated for Grammys.
I actually saw Bernie in concert. I think it was last fall or maybe the last summer. Out in Sarasota.
He's good.
Yeah,
he's great.
It was very entertaining. You gotta be kidding.
It's starting to rain here at the stadium. Swing and a miss.
Good tight slider. The power breaking ball from Wade Davis. He picks up his 5th strikeout. All 5 of the strikeouts have been swinging. So that's overpowering stuff. Looks like a fastball right to the very end. Breaks away from the zone. Watch Jaso reach out. This ball is actually not even a strike. And Jeter trying to follow it across home plate, cannot connect. 5 strikeouts now for Wade Davis.
And there's a strike to Brett Gardner. Dark clouds overhead. Rain was not in the forecast for tonight. Maybe it's just a passing shower. 1-1. You know, Jeter's strikeout in May, he is 14 for 76. That has not been a friendly month for him this year. 184 and 17 strikeouts. Grounded, foul outside of first.
One thing I like about Brett Gardner's game now, we know he can slash the ball to the opposite field, fight off several pitches, and kind of hit his bloopers to left. But every once in a while, he'll load up on something on the inner half and just hit a rocket to the right side. He's hit a couple of home runs this year, and I think it's part of his he's incorporating that into his overall hitting game, the ability to pull the ball with some authority.
There's a base hit. So Gardner on again. He walked in the first inning, got picked off, actually caught stealing 1-3, and now a 2-out single. Gets an at bat for Mark Teixeira.
See, they're going to the shift again, and it would lead you to believe if Gardner attempts to steal, it's going to be Longoria who's going to cover second, and that setup is what you had called for the first time. Might get 2 for the price of 1.
And that puts a lot of pressure on Jaso to be the guy. He's got to throw through and then bust it and go to third. And probably Wade Davis has to have that responsibility too. Rip foul. This shift is even more drastic than it was in the first inning because the second baseman, Burnett, is almost toward the line. He's almost playing behind Pena.
Just before the pitch, he moved over a little bit closer to the line. I thought it would have been a breaking ball, and it was. Somebody must have been informing him of what's coming because he can't see the signs from where he is.
Now, Teixeira's a DH tonight, so you might wonder, how has he done as a DH? Pretty good, 358, 9 homers and 34 ribbies in 34 games. Hard to DH a Gold Glove first baseman, though, but it's a good way to give him half a day off. Strike 3, Teixeira down looking. Wade Davis ringing up strikeouts. 6 strikeouts for Davis. The Yankees get 1 hit. They strand 1. We go to the 4th. 2-0 Rays. Rock, boys, great on that show. Time now for the New York State Smokers Quit Line Quiz. Mark Teixeira became the 5th player in Major League history to hit 25 or more home runs in each of his first 7 seasons. Who are the other 4? On 30 Rock, he plays Tracy Jordan and realizes he's Tracy Morgan. There's Jerry Springer with a nice poncho on. What do they do at the end of the show? Jerry's final thought, and then it gets all somber and everything.
Why don't we try and get along?
He's a big, big baseball fan. This isn't just popping up to be seen. He really knows the game. 2-0 Tampa Bay over the Yanks.
I think he's a Cubs. Is he a Cubs fan? No, Yankee fan.
I think he's a Yankee fan.
Yeah, that's right.
Hit sharply and off the glove of Jeter, and it trickles into center field. So Upton will reach.
Well, he told you Derek Shelton said that Upton is actually hitting the ball much harder. He had been 8 for 59 coming into tonight. Now he is 9 for 61. This rocket just off the glove of Derek Jeter and on into center. Of course, Upton brings the ability to steal a base. He's over at first.
Here's Hank Blaylock. Blaylock struck out in the second inning. Blaylock and Teixeira with a deal in Texas. Those were the two guys that were going to be there forever. They played the corners of the infield. And now here they are facing each other as designated hitters for the Yankees and the Rays.
And when Teixeira first got to Texas, Blaylock was the third baseman. So Teixeira had played the outfield. He was playing left field for a while.
Those are his years. 05 and 06, the most productive.
Blaylock was at third and Rafael Palmeiro was at first, and that kind of forced Teixeira as the newest Ranger at that time to play the outfield.
Teixeira, yes, a very vocal in his condemnation of Hanley Ramirez. They said, you know, you've got to be a leader for your team. You've got to have guys that really do it together. The runner goes, there's no throw. So Upton steals second.
Cervelli came up, but I don't think he had a grip on the ball. Sometimes you try and be a little too quick to transfer from the glove to the hand, and you don't get the grip, and Upton's able to steal this one. His 12th steal of the year in 15 attempts. Good pitch to throw on, but you can see the grip was not there.
Count 3-0.
Michael, you mentioned it earlier. It just A.J. Burnett doesn't seem to have command of the fastball. You know, we've seen him go from corner to corner when he's on, and that's the snapdragon breaking ball that really befuddles the hitters. But he's falling behind on counts tonight.
Strike. Big right-hander, throws hard. High leg kick. Opponents now have 8 stolen bases in 10 attempts with A.J. on the mound. Right back to Burnett. He knocks it down, finds it, fires to first, not in time. So Blaylock picks up a single. Tonight after the postgame, don't miss an all-new Forbes Sports Money presented by Fox Business Network. See all of the fan-friendly amenities of the Nets' new home at the Prudential Center in Newark. Plus, get a breakdown of Europe's top soccer clubs. It's all new tonight after the postgame, and it's only on Yes.
Here's a look at that shot back off of A.J. Had trouble locating it, and once he did, it was too late as Blaylock has an infield single.
Pitch to Jasos upstairs. Well, Wade Davis has 6 strikeouts, and he's been dealing. So A.J. Burnett doesn't want to give up too many more runs, and Davis has already matched his season high with 6 strikeouts. And he's just pitched 3 innings. Runner goes. Throw to third. Not in time. Double steal.
Well, Michael, I think you called it, the fact that the high leg kick for A.J. Burnett, and the throw is accurate. It's there. But he gets the outfield side of the bag. A-Rod has the ball and can't get the tag across the bag quickly enough. He was in front of the bag. You see that on Yes Mo. So Blaylock on the back end picks up his first stolen base as a Ray.
Infield is back. So if Jaso hits a ground ball to the right side, that would be exactly what the doctor ordered. And he skies that one to the left. That's going to be trouble. It's a base hit. It bounces into the seats. That will score 2 runs, a 2-run double for John Jaso, and it's 4-0 Rays.
They kind of slice that one over the end of the bat. And he'll hop with all that spin on it. Hops directly, makes a left turn, and hops right into the seats. See how he kind of sliced it. Keeps it fair and has himself a 2-run double. And A.J. Burnett falls into a 4-0 hole.
First time that he's allowed more than 2 earned runs in a home start since September 12th of last year. Including the postseason, he won 7 straight starts here at Yankee Stadium of 2 earned runs or less. Count 2-0 to Burnett. Well, the Rays scoring 4 runs against him. Odd. We told you in the open how good he was against the Rays. His last 7 starts, 6-0, 1.78, and a 2.06 batting average against. Count 2-1. The 2-1. Missed at the bunt. Snap throw behind the runner, and it trickles into center field. Jaso is going to go to third. So the Yankees got a little too frisky there, particularly Cervelli. And a bad throw, that's an E2, allowing the runner to move to third with nobody out.
Well, you can see that Brignac had squared the bunt. They were trying to bunt him over, and he bunted through the ball, which means the runner sometimes can get a little too far from second base. The throw hits his leg and breaks away from Derek Jeter, who actually never touched the ball. Bunts through the ball. Jaso's too far off. The ball hits in the dirt, then hits him, and then he moves over to third. E2.
Infield is in as Brignac swings and misses, so that's the first out.
Michael, I was talking about Bartlett is when he hit the home run his first time. He's hit 21 straight solo home runs. The Major League record is actually 23, and it's shared by 3 players. 2 of them are in the Hall of Fame. Andre Dawson and Paul Molitor hit 23 straight solo home runs. The other player is on the Yankees, although he's not active right now.
Nick Johnson?
No.
Curtis Granderson?
Curtis Granderson with the Tigers. 23. Remember, he was a leadoff man. A lot of those years. 23 straight solo home runs.
See, now I understand Molitor because he led off for a while, too. I don't get Dawson hitting all those solo home runs.
Yeah, that's be the one to kind of throw you.
Chop foul. In the first inning, it was a Coors Light cold hard blast, Kenny.
Jason Bartlett got the Rays off to a good start with his first home run of the season. So he doesn't take passengers. Nice
block by Cervelli.
Very active behind home plate. Very impressed with the defensive ability of Francisco Cervelli. Another block by the Cisco kid. It was not a replay.
So the count now full at 3-2. Jaso is at third. With one man out, the Yankees have the infield in. It's 4-0 Rays, top of the fourth. And the pitch. Grounded to Alex Rodriguez. He'll check back the runner and take the second out of first. Now the Yankees get back up.
Good job by Burnett to this point to hold Jaso at third with the strikeout of Brignac, and then getting Bartlett to chop one to Alex Rodriguez at third. Check the runner, give him a little feint, and Jaso will move back towards the bag and then make the throw to first. Plenty of time to get Bartlett. One hopper. That's what you're taught to do way back in Little League.
Pitch to Crawford. Driven to right field. That's going to be trouble. Is it high enough? No, it hits off the wall. Run will score. Crawford's going for two. The throw is not in time. RBI double for Carl Crawford. It's 5-0 Rays. Well, he had a P out there.
I'll tell you what, a lot of guys in this league would only have gotten a single. Because Marcus Thames came up with this ball quickly, and as hard as he hit it, rocket, man, bull market, and he's headed for second.
Rough outing to this point by A.J. Burnett. Nobody up in the Yankee bullpen. Here's Ben Zobrist, 1-for-1 with a walk. Count 1-0.
Here's another guy who falls in the same category as Bartlett. Zobrist has not hit a home run this year. He hit 27 of them last year.
He's got 157 at bats without a home run. Well, Wade Davis getting some support. The 2-0.
You know, one thing about the Rays and one thing that's helped propel them to the best record in baseball is their ability to win games on the road. Got the best road record in major leagues. They're 15-4 away from Tropicana Field. And they've done a lot of that, but with their pitching, they've really held down the opponents. The road ERA is 2.18. That is dealing.
Their road record is 15-4.
Yeah.
That's one of the best all-time road records over the first 19 games of a season in Major League history. That's how good they are away from Trop. Count 3-2.
Remember the Detroit Tigers of 1984? They got off 35-5. But they won their first 17 games on the road. They were 17-0 away from then Tiger Stadium.
And that team went on to win the World Championship. 3-2. They walked them. And that's going to bring up Evan Longoria. And that's going to bring out Dave Island.
And while he comes out, we've got a chance to do our Home Depot scouting report on Evan Longoria. He's been torrid at Tropicana this year. 373 at home. 21 runs batted in his last 19 games. Well, actually, if you count tonight, he's got 22 in his last 20. This one's not over. And he collects precious metals. Got a Gold Glove last year and a Silver Slugger award. Gold Glove for his fielding ability, Silver Slugger for his hitting.
Won the Rookie of the Year in 08. And he was one of the players that the Rays have locked up long term. And I got to tell you, Kenny, it's one of the greatest deals for a team that I've ever seen. It could end up being a 9-year deal, and it could be worth as much. It's not guaranteed, as much as $44 million. So they're getting one of the best players in baseball for the next 9 years at about $5 million a year. You might say, well, why did he do that? Well, he took the security.
He took the security. And he is rapidly becoming one of the faces, not only of the Rays, the faces of baseball. I mean, he's featured on the cover of video games. He's also featured in a New Era cap commercial. Yep. That's a national commercial.
Runners go. And that's the EA Sports 2K10 Major League Baseball video game. It's 2K10.
Well, it used to be a big thrill for a player to get his picture on the cover of the Sporting News.
Now video games are bigger.
Yeah.
But in football, you don't want to be on the Madden game because that's kind of a jinx.
No thrill that hits you when you get your picture on the cover of the Sporting News.
Laced into right field, Marcus Thames coming on. He can't make the play. Crawford will score. Moving to third is Zobrist. It's an RBI single for Longoria. And the Rays are leading 6-0.
Longoria's second run batted in of the night. He has been just like money in the bank lately with runners on base. And finally, it looks like somebody's going to get up in the Yankee bullpen. Pitch out over the plate. Yep, he goes the other way. Perfect hitting. It's a solid shot. It's going to have some sink on it just in front of Thames, who knocks it down. And the Rays have another run.
Got to bring up Pena as the Rays bat around. That one's fouled back. Mark Melancon warming for the Yanks. So Burnett really struggling on this Wednesday evening in New York. Runner goes. And you can see their game plan against A.J. Burnett. They're going to run at all costs at all times. So a stolen base for Longoria. That's his 6th.
And for the Rays overall tonight, they've been on the move.
Ground ball again to short right field. Cano will get Pena, and that will do it. But the Rays score 4 runs. They leave 2 runners on. We go to the bottom of the 4th, 6-0 Tampa Bay. let's take a look at the answer to the New York State Smokers Quitline quiz. Mark Teixeira became the 5th player in baseball history to 25 or more home runs in each of his first 7 seasons. Who are the other 4? And the answer is...
2 are in the Hall of Fame.
Eddie Matthews did 11 seasons. Albert Pujols is going to the Hall of Fame. Darryl Strawberry probably not. And Frank Robinson is in the Hall of Fame. 36-pitch inning for A.J. Burnett. Wade Davis in the dugout a long time, but he starts off Alex Rodriguez with a breaking ball. And he's up in the count 0-1. Alex struck out in the second. Davis has 6 strikeouts. Count 1-1. Yankees have left 3 runners on base over the first 3 innings. Last night they left 12 runners on base.
A-Rod regularly of late has been driving runners in. 16 games, last 16 games, 17 runs batted in. And he's got himself up over the 30 mark now. Look at him. Hop, skip, and a jump. A-Rod be nimble.
He better be quick.
Davis is rushing it up there. Over 90 miles an hour.
And Alex works a walk. 3rd walk by Davis.
You got to like Davis's stuff. He throws hard. He has a very sharp breaking ball. He seems to be tough to hit. He picks up quite a few strikeouts. He has I like to call it an easy pass fastball. He can get it by hitters. But he uses too many pitches with all the base on balls. And you can see why the Rays like him, although he's with a record of 3-3, he is the low man on the totem pole in their starting rotation. The other guys are all dealing. Shields, Garza, Price, and Neiman.
The Rays starters record is 21-6. And since 1920, only 3 teams have had fewer losses charged to their starters in the first 39 games. 84 Tigers had 4, 95 Red Sox 5, and 28 Yankees 5.
That's how you win. The Yankees have that too. They have a solid rotation. That's why they have the record that they have. When you go to the mound each and every night, you send somebody out there you're just about even with the other team or a little bit better, or even sometimes a lot better. And over the course of a long season, 162 games, you wear down the rest of the teams. They can't stay with you on a nightly basis. And if your pitchers do the job they're supposed to, you end up winning many more games than you're going to lose.
Hit sharply past Pena into right field. Alex Rodriguez is going to go for 3rd. He'll make it. So the Yankees have runners on the corners, nobody out here in the 4th.
Robinson Cano was out here about 3:30 this afternoon working a soft toss with Kevin Long, and it was not in the cage. It was actually on the field. And working on quickening up his stroke, and boom. Right on by a good fielding first baseman and Carlos Pena. A-Rod takes a little glance over the shoulder, decides he can make it to 3rd. And he does, and the Yankees are in business here in the 4th inning. Carlos Pena, one of the best fielding first basemen in the league. If you get it by him, you've done something. And Wade Davis, first time in this game, the Yankees have got a man as far as 3rd base.
And Jim Hickey goes out the top with Davis. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the New York Yankees and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. Now, the Yankees have a chance to do to the Rays what has been done to them the past couple of days: surrender leads. The Yankees had a 5-0 lead in each of the 2 games against the Red Sox and gave it back and more. Although on Monday they ended up winning the game with a 4-run bottom of the 9th inning, 2 home runs. Well, here they've dug themselves a 6-0 hole. Pitch to Cervelli is outside 1-0. Count 2-0.
They always talk about getting that first hitter out in an inning for a pitcher and how important that is. Opponents have only scored in 1 of the 26 innings that Wade Davis has gotten the first batter out.
The 2-0. Driven out toward right field. Giving chase is Zobrist, and he makes the play. Tagging is Alex Rodriguez. The throw is not in time. Sac fly for Cervelli. Yankees are on the board. They trail 6-1.
First man gets on. He comes around to score. Well, for Cervelli, that does not go as a hit with a runner in scoring position, but he certainly gets the RBI out of it. He hasn't had that many at-bats, and he's got 16 runs batted in.
There's Marcus Thames. Walked in the 2nd inning. And walked in the 9th inning last night against Jonathan Papelbon. Big shift. 3 infielders on the left side. And with Pena holding Cano, Kenny, he has the entire right side to himself. It's all over the entire right side of the infield. He just obviously can't hit the ball there. Right now, the Yankees need base runners.
He should be able to push a bunt that way, though. Ooh, it looked like he was trying. Let's take a look if he was trying to hit the ball to the right side. He's listening to Michael Kenny. Channeling Michael. Yep.
No, Kenny, you don't even have to hit it hard.
Dribble.
It's just dribbling. Well, we spent years broadcasting games with Jason Giambi ignoring base hits on the left side of the infield.
Need base runners, though. You're down by 5 runs. Drive up the pitch count of Wade Davis.
It was about 100 feet open for a base hit there. The 90 and then 10 on the other side. One and two. Swing and a miss. Thames down on strikes. 2 out.
Season high strikeout total for Wade Davis.
7th strikeout.
He's got good movement on that pitch.
Here's Juan Miranda.
And with the injuries, Miranda getting a chance to get things done at the major league level. The shift flows to the other side, to the right side of the diamond. Think back to the first really severe shift in the major leagues. On Ted Williams by the Cleveland Indians. Lou Boudreau was the player manager. And he put everybody over to the right. And Ted Williams kept pulling the ball, kept getting his hits too. And it was known as the Boudreau shift. Couldn't stop Ted.
And the 0-2. That one is ripped to right field. But Zobrist right there. A little too much top spin on that. But the Yankees finally get a run on one hit. No errors. One man left on base. We played 4 here at the stadium. Rays 6, Yankees 1. At 6-1 Rays over the Yankees. Yankee fans, if you ever miss a live Yankees game, now you can catch all Yes Network Yankee game encores on Fios Video on Demand in their free sports sections. So A.J. Burnett's still in there, and he deals a strike to B.J. Upton on the Kia scoreboard 6-7-0, leading 1-3-1. Count 0-2.
under different circumstances, Burnett might be out of the game.
He struggled in his last 3 starts. His first 6 starts came out of the gate on fire.
And he might have been out of the game under different circumstances, but the way the Yankee bullpen has been lately, Joe Girardi, letting him stay in and pitch despite the fact the Yankees are down 6-1.
Reaches out and spoils that. And the 2-2. Skied into center field. Brett Gardner drifts back. He has room, and he's going to put it away for the first out of the inning. Now, right now, A.J. Burnett has a job. He might not get a win in this game, but he's got to suck up some innings right now. He's got to be able to get through at least 2 more innings rather than burn up the bullpen for 12 outs, because there's a game tomorrow. Yeah. There's 3 games over the weekend, so there are no days off until Monday. And A.J. Burnett's job now, even if he has to give up some runs, is to suck up some innings. High fly ball left center field. Randy Wynn drifts over for the second out.
Another chance to have an easy inning here. He's got the first 2 out.
But a single by Jaso keeps the inning alive. They are jumping on Burnett early in this inning because they know he's going to be throwing fastballs.
That's Jaso's second hit. Jaso came in hitting .302. And the Rays have had a pretty good record in games that he has started as the catcher. High fastball jumped right on it. "15 games for Jaso as a starter. The Rays are 11-4 in those games."
And there's a ground ball to second. So they're helping A.J. Burnett stay in this game a little bit longer. Didn't throw many pitches in that inning. No runs a hit, no errors. And 1 man left on base at the end of 4.5, 6-1 Rays. fifth inning. Yankees are trailing this 6-1. And look at what was just delivered to this booth. That's a steak from NYY Steak, which is a great place to get a great meal before the game. Wow, this looks good, huh? Randy Wynn skies one to right field. And there's one away.
See that? I don't know if you can see this at home. I might have to turn this a little.
How about that?
There you go.
That knife has my name on it. Pretty nice, right?
That's pretty nice. So's mine.
Now, NYY Steak, you don't have to only go here for the games. They have a plethora of events. They're open year-round. They have jazz nights. They have comedy nights. They have wine tastings. And in addition to a number of private events, from birthday parties to corporate dinner meetings. If you want to find out about this, www.nyysteak.com for more information on how to book your next event at NYY Steak.
They have their own steak sauce.
This food is really good.
Unbelievable.
All right, now what is this side? This is crab stuffed prawn, lobster mac and cheese. This is lobster mac and cheese.
Good choice, Michael.
This is a tower of onion rings as Derek fouls it off.
You notice how many friends we have in the booth now?
Yeah, they're all coming over now. There were 7 onion rings when it came into the booth. There's 6 now. Anyway, thanks to everybody at NYY Steak. This stuff is tremendous.
Just beautiful.
I was hungry, and now I won't be. Jeter hits one the other way, a base hit through the right side. So Derek with a 1-out single.
Jeter now with this base hit has stretched his latest hitting streak to 7 straight games.
On the Kia scoreboard, 6-1, Tampa Bay over the Yankees. And here's Brett Gardner. Gardner's walked and singled. Yankees having to play catch-up here against the Rays. And the pitch is low. Now, for young pitchers, Kenny, I'm sure you've heard this too. They always say it's very, very difficult to get those outs in the 5th inning when you qualify for the win.
No matter what the score is, if you got a 1-run lead or maybe even with a big lead, a 5-run lead tonight for Davis. Because they know at the W, if he gets the win tonight, he jumps over 500 on the season, and he jumps back in line with the rest of the Rays starters who've been doing some pretty good pitching. He has never beaten the Yankees. He's 0-2 in his career against the Yankees.
Count 1-1.
See some stirring in the Rays bullpen, but nobody's actually warming up. It looks like they're just exercising out there. Stretching those shoulder muscles.
Dribbled slowly towards second. They miss Jeter on the tag, but they get the out at first. That's a nice attempt by Brignac there, but Jeter eluded the tag, and he moves to second with 2 outs.
Yeah, it's a calculated risk on Jeter's part. He has to make sure he can get by the second baseman before he gets the ball. And you can see that Derek just missed him. And they take the out at first base and get Brett Gardner. On the ESMO, you can see there is no contact. And Jeter's now at second with 2 outs.
Here's Teixeira. He has struck out twice against Davis. And there's a strike. Carlos Pena practically standing on first baseline. Looks like he's guarding against the foul ball. There's nothing that could get past him fair.
And the reason why he's there, if you look and see where Brignac is, Brignac is just a few feet to his right. This has to be calculated through scouting reports exactly where Teixeira hits the ball. It's almost like you're taking away a fielder. You know, you're getting him to a point where if he catches the ball to his left, it's going to be foul. There's no reason to be that close to the line.
And also, he's a Gold Glove caliber first baseman. Wouldn't you move him a little bit more toward his right? He could make that play to his left, but you know the red letters and capital letters shift.
It should say extreme shift.
I also wonder, Kenny, does this get inside a hitter's mind? You know, you mentioned how they did it to Ted Williams all the time, and he just tried to pull it through. I wonder if you're thinking about it. You're up there, and it's going through your mind, and if you could just divert his attention a little, then you're winning. The 3-1. Now 3-2.
Yeah, ultimately you want to go where the shift is, you know, out in the seats. If you can, the shift wouldn't matter.
Well, if he did that, you'd have yourself a ball game at 6-3. Jeter leads off second. 2 outs. And here's the payoff to Teixeira. Dribbles one slowly. That's the shortstop fielding the ball, and he flips to Pena for the final out of the 5th. No runs a hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We played 5 here at Yankee Stadium. Rays 6, and the Yankees 1. The response to the Toyota text poll, which we gave you earlier, which of these first-place teams is the biggest surprise in baseball? You've been texting us at 58772, and here's how you voted. 45% say it's the Reds, because I guess they agree with Kenny, and the Padres are close behind the Rays. Everybody expected the Rays to be pretty good. I don't know if they expected them to be this good, and the Rangers 8%. Well, we go to the 6th inning, 6-1, Rays over the Yankees. Top of the order, A.J. Burnett still in there. And the pitch to Jason Bartlett is inside 1-0. Bartlett, I guess it was a portent of things to come, led off the game with a home run. His first home run of the year. Since then, a sac bunt, a grounded to third. The 2-0. 3-0. And the pitch. Way outside. So he walks Jason Bartlett to start up the 6th inning.
Walk number 4 for Burnett in the game. Bartlett's now been on base a couple of times with a sacrifice bunt.
There's Nick Swisher sitting out another game. Mark Kimberly Jones asked him, what the deal is. I'm just chilling tonight, and he'll try it out again tomorrow. He's been bothered by a left biceps problem. They got him. Up 6-1, he was leaning, he was going. And you can see the Rays' game plan today. It was a run wild on Burnett, and he picks off Bartlett.
Bartlett took the false step and tried to hustle back to the bag, but not in time. You can see the tag by Miranda. And the call by the first base umpire, Larry Vanover. Sweep tag, and he's done.
Crawford swings and misses.
Here's another look. You can see the false step. He was ready to set sail for second. Instead, he can set sail for the dugout.
That one's chopped to A-Rod. Nice play. Fires low, and a good scoop by Miranda to get the speedy Crawford.
A-Rod had to go to his left. Ball's hit fairly hard, but anytime Crawford hits the ball, the race is on. He's got the speed. Good pick by Miranda, first base. That was not one of your short hops. This was well out in front of him, and he has to use a good glove to make the play for out number 2.
Here's Ben Zobrist, and there's a strike. Burnett, 97 pitches. Boone Logan warms up. I guess if they get to Pena in this inning, they'll bring Logan in. Count 2-1. The 2-1. Grounded toward first and a kicks foul.
We saw the graphic earlier of how Burnett was really sharp early in the season, and now the last few starts has not been quite as good. And sometimes you can get yourself back on track by your side sessions, working between starts in the bullpen on your throw days, and really concentrating on hitting the glove. And I'm sure that Dave Island, the pitching coach, and Burnett will be out there working to try and get him on track and throwing the ball much like he did at the beginning of the season.
The 2-2. Skied out toward left field. Giving chase is Wynn on the run in the corner. He can't make the play. It's a foul ball.
Long run for the former Devil Ray, Randy Wynn. The wall, the ball, and Wynn are going to get to the same spot all about the same time.
Looked like that fan reached over and touched it, so even if Wynn had been there in time, that play would not have been made. That's also a judgment call by the umpire.
Yes, he can. He can, in his judgment, if he thought Wynn was being interfered with and was able to catch that, he could call the hitter, in this case Zobrist, out, but that was too difficult to play in a long run.
As I was telling Steve Bartman just the other day. Zobrist could not hold up. He swings and misses, and that will do it. A 13-pitch inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. Now a message from our friends at the Fox Business Network. Yes is brought to you in part by your Tri-State Volkswagen dealers. Visit tristatepw.com. By the Karate Kid, starring Jaden Smith and Jackie Chan, in theaters June 11th. And by Honda. Look for money-saving leases and low financing at your Honda dealer. Well, so far it's been all Rays as they lead the Yankees 6-1 as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. It'll be Rodriguez, Cano, and Cervelli, 4, 5, and 6 against Wade Davis. A-Rod's 0 for 1 with a walk and a run scored. Time called. Lance Cormier, one of 6 right-handers in the Rays bullpen. That would be, if you looked at the way their bullpen breaks down, they only have 1 lefty. That might be a little bit of a complaint. And that lefty is Randy Cho.
Well, it would have been, they would have had a couple with J.P. Howe, but to the disappointment of Joe Madden and J.P. Howe. Joe Madden had a nice discussion with him. He's going to have labrum surgery on his shoulder.
That's a tough operation.
Yeah, and Joe Madden trying to lift his spirits a bit. I think he had surgery today. I think he did.
Yep. There's a strike to Alex on the 3-0. Now, Madden has been asked about having only 1 lefty, and his response is that a pitcher like Lance Cormier happens to be very effective against left-handed batters. So if you have a certain pitch type or selection, you know, a guy with a good changeup would be good, a righty against a lefty. Or a screwball. Three-2. Fouled away. That would be the one complaint that you have on Wade Davis, Kenny. A lot of full counts.
A lot of full counts, and you know he's coming up on 100 pitches, and has not yet mastered the ability to get deeper into ball games. But he's got good stuff. I mean, with the Rays offense, they score any type of runs. And he has never been, well, he went to the 7th inning against Kansas City on May the 2nd. He worked 7 full innings. But that's the only time this year he's gotten through 7. In that game, he only allowed 3 hits.
And the 3-2. Again fouled away.
And he got a win. He beat Zach Greinke 1-0.
Grounded foul. A-Rod's already seen 9 pitches in this at bat.
Here's how you help the rest of the guys in the inning. He's seen 9 pitches. This will be the 10. He'll see at least 10. And there hasn't been an out recorded yet.
That one is driven deep to center field. Up and back. Looking up. See ya! Into Monument Park. A home run for Alex Rodriguez. His 589th of his career. And it moves the Yankees to within 4. Oh, did he crush that?
$18 runs batted in now in his last 17 games. That was a monster. Oh, right there. Lengthy at bat. And let's see where this one actually comes to rest. It's the blue area just underneath the glass of the Mohegan Sun Sports Bar out there. Well hit. It's 408 feet to straightaway center. You got to figure that's another 15 to 20 feet.
Oh, you would think.
No, yeah.
That one is sliced through the left side for a base hit. So the Yankees moving out of their slumber just a bit.
Cano with his second straight 2-hit night. He had 2 doubles last night. Tonight he has 2 singles. And that's going to bring Jim Hickey to the mound, the Rays pitching coach. Let's take another look at this long home run hit by Alex Rodriguez. Straightaway center, right down the middle of the fairway. Upton got the last look at it. Now he's going to get another look at it as it bounces back onto the field. There's a great look in Yesmo. Follow through. Oof. Some kind of power.
589 home runs for Rodriguez. At the top is Barry Bonds, Aaron, Ruth, Mays, Griffey, Sosa, and Alex. So he's 20 away from Sammy Sosa. And the pitch to Cervelli. Missed outside, 1-0. Grounded to third. Longoria gets 1 out. The return to first. Got him. Ooh, boy, that's some double play on a slow roller to third, and Cervelli is not that slow.
Well, he talked about the athleticism of this Rays team, and you see some of it on display right here. First Longoria, then Brignac, and then the double play is turned. Moving away from second, watch Brignac get the ball off on its way to first with all kinds of pressure put on him by Robinson Cano. Yeah, this is not easy to turn. Here comes Cano. He's got to get out of the way, get the throw off. You're taught to get both your feet up off the ground. That way you can ride the runner as he comes in, and you lessen your chance of injury when he slides into you.
There's Marcus Thames. 0-1. Count 0-2.
That was a power breaking ball that Tim's just barely got a look at.
And the 0-2. 1-2.
When Wade Davis won his first major league game, it was a complete game shutout. He struck out 10 Baltimore Orioles, and that kind of opened the eyes of the Rays. Told them they might have a pitcher they could use in the future. He was a third-round pick, but going back to 2004, as I said, he turned down the University of Florida to sign with the Rays, and has worked his way up, and this year became the 5th starter.
Hit sharply, and somehow he got it through. Past a diving Longoria, past a diving Bartlett, and it looks like Marcus Thames is hurt. And with the Yankees injured the way they are, the last thing that they could really afford is to lose a player.
Let's see how this happened. He hits a rocket through the hole, trying to get out of the box. He throws the bat out in front. Oh, wow. My goodness. Steps on his own bat.
That's amazing.
Oh. Now he's trying to walk it off around first, but I don't think I've ever seen this.
The two fielders are on the floor, and then Marcus Thames is in pain. Well, Joe Madden is going to go to the bullpen. He is going to call on Lance Cormier, and it looks like Joe Girardi is going to take out Thames. He's hurt, and the Yankees are going to have to go to the bench. Who they pull off the bench? We'll know in just a moment. Stay right where you are. Wade Davis as Joe Madden makes a call to the bullpen, brought to you by AT&T. Rethink possible. And another right-hander, it's Lance Cormier. Pinch running for Thames is Ramiro Pena, who will stay in to play right field. The Yankees simply do not have a backup outfielder right now. Nick Swisher is on the roster, but unavailable to play because of the bicep injury. You see Cormier's numbers. They sent down Greg Golson before yesterday's game because they needed Mark Melancon in the bullpen.
And you just saw Curtis Granderson, who is still a few weeks away with that groin injury.
Well, you know what the big problem is, Kenny? You're playing with a 25-man roster where two guys are unavailable, so you really technically have a two-man bench. Posada is only an emergency catcher, and Swisher, well, maybe he can hit right-handed.
Certainly limits the amount of moves that a manager can make. And Pena who was running for Thames last year when the Yankees sent him down to the minor leagues. He played a few games in the outfield, in center field, just to increase his value as a player and give him the ability to, spell somebody in the outfield every once in a while. I think he's going to find out what it's all about.
Well, it's very clear, Kenny, that in this situation with Tim's out, that Nick Swisher's a complete non-player. He's not available at all, because you would think that in this emergency where there are no other outfielders that Joe would go with Nick Swisher, but Swisher obviously can't play. So he's a dead body on a 25-man roster. And Posada's the same deal. So now they have nobody that's available. After Pena, that's it. They're carrying 13 pitchers because of the way the bullpen has been batted around.
And plus, with interleague play coming and going over to Citi Field and playing National League rules, you could use that extra pitcher.
And you can also, with pinch hitting for pitchers, you're going to need people off the bench that can play. Runner goes, and Miranda works a walk. So very quietly, the Yankees are trying to climb back in this game. They're down 6-2, bottom of the 6th inning, and here's Randy Wynn coming up with runners on first and second and 2 outs. And you can see they're talking about, well, what's next? Who can we use?
I think it's a case of what you see is what you get from this point on in this game.
And Wynn fouls it off.
You got to hope that somebody else doesn't foul a ball off their foot.
Now Posada is hurt because there was a foul tip off his right foot while he was catching. But the thing that the Yankees are a little worried about, initially was swelling at the top of the foot. Now that's gone down, but now the swelling's on the bottom of the foot.
Makes it difficult to run.
Yeah.
This is on Sunday against Minnesota. Michael Kadire at the plate, and right on the inside of his foot, that foul ball off the bat of Michael Kadire.
This is the 40th game for the Rays, and this is only the 8th time in 40 games that the Rays have gone to the bullpen before the 7th inning. That's the kind of length their starters have been given.
Once every 5 games. Once every time through the rotation, one starter does not get through the 7th.
Grounded to second. It's booted. Does he have time? No! So Burnett keeps the inning alive, and will bring Derek Jeter up with the bases loaded.
Here's the pitch by pitch. Randy Wynn, brought to you by Suzuki Kazashi. Well, let's check it out. Little cutter, fouled at the plate. Another breaking ball for a ball. Fastball up and away, 2-1. Fastball grounded to second, where Burnett cannot make the play, and the Yankees have the bases loaded. And also the tying run at the plate. There's the boot by Burnett.
Bases loaded with the Yankees. Jeter 1 for 3 against Davis. Cormier deals low.
Well, finally the crowd getting something to cheer about here.
Jeter 1 hit and 5 at bats lifetime against Cormier. With the bases loaded, 351 with 1 grand slam. Reggie Jackson, who, by the way, belated happy birthday, it was his birthday yesterday, once said Derek Jeter doesn't have a lot of grand slams because he doesn't need to hit him and he doesn't want to hit him. He just wants to get base hits. And you can see he gets base hits at a very high clip. And now he's written the count 2-0. So a game that seemed to really be in hand for the Rays, now somewhat in doubt here in the bottom of the sixth. Now, if you're Girardi, you roll the dice and green light Jeter.
Sometimes it's more of a curse than a blessing because the hitter thinks he has to load up, try to hit a homer.
Taking all the way, takes a strike.
And you're talking about Jeter with his high average, getting hits with the bases loaded.
Grounded to short. Gobbled up by Burnett, and he gets Jeter, and that will do it. So the Yankees just get one run on the Alex Rodriguez home run. 2 hits, 1 error, and the bases are left loaded. We go to the 7th at the stadium. Tampa Bay 6 and the New York Yankees 2. Don't miss an all-new WB Mason presents the Joe Girardi Show. This is a tough week against the Red Sox and the Rays. Joe's going to break down the division race, look ahead to next week's series with the Twins and the Indians, talk about the Mets some as well. It's the all-new Joe Girardi Show, Sunday at 7:30, only on Yes. So Ramiro Pena takes over in right field for Marcus Thames, who they say has suffered a sprained left ankle. A.J. Burnett still in there. The 1-0 grounded foul. On the Verizon Wireless scoreboard, 6-8-1, 2-7-1 for the Yanks.
Pretty soon you're going to have to draw a number to go into the training room.
You can see Steve Donahue has a pad there with all the names on it. There's a lot of names on that list. Breaking ball. Now, there's a lot of bookkeeping involved. We said that before yesterday's game, Greg Golson was sent down.
Yeah.
Now, the way it works, you can't bring Golson back up unless you put somebody on the DL. Then you're allowed to bring somebody back up. Otherwise, you have to wait 10 days. So I don't know if Thames' injury is a DL injury, but they have to get an outfielder here. That one's grounded to third. Fielded by A-Rod. Throws across the diamond. Not in time, but a nice scoop by Miranda. Infield single for Longoria.
A-Rod was playing deep to begin with. Ground ball almost directly over the bag. Longoria gets a good jump out of the box. A-Rod from foul territory throwing on the run, and Longoria beat it out by at least a good step and a half. There's one. Well, good step. And he's safe. And he made the call. Same one to the first base umpire, Larry Vanover.
Here's Carlos Pena, 0 for 3 tonight, and 6 for his last 61. And he is on the interstate, hitting 187.
Pena's on, he could be a tough hitter because he hits the high fastball for distance and he can hit the low fastball for distance. But right now his swing is off. He got a couple of hits yesterday. In fact, hit one to left field. And he usually doesn't do that.
One and two.
Yesterday he got his first run batted in at a game at Tropicana Field in 15 games.
A lot of ribbies, though, for 187 average. 23 is pretty good.
You're right. And that's primarily because he got a lot of men on in front of him.
The Rays are 5th in the big leagues in runs scored, and they're 1st in runs allowed, least runs allowed. 2 and 2.
You know, if you have a team that has quite a few players with high on base percentages, and then you can get players who hit with runners in scoring, but you're going to score a lot of runs. The fact is that one of the key numbers that a lot of people leave out is hitting with runners in scoring position as a whole team. They have a tendency to point to individuals, but it's a team sport. You can be up there in that category.
Runner goes, and another stolen base for the Rays. They're running wild. That's their 6th.
And a second for Longoria in this game. He now has 7 on the season.
And it shows you how much of the stolen base game is on the pitcher, because Cervelli is a good catch and throw guy behind the plate. He doesn't have a chance. AJ's leg kick is too high. Now the Yankees can neutralize the running game tomorrow night with Andy Pettit on the mound. Now that was the 113th pitch thrown by AJ. His highest pitch total this year was 116. That was on April 29th at Baltimore. Now AJ will have an extra day of rest because Monday's an off day.
I was talking about the Rays' ability to hit with runners in scoring position. 301 as a team. That is excellent. First in the American League.
Strike 3. Carlos Pena down looking. Speaking of Andy Pettit, let's take a look at tomorrow's pitching matchup. Brought to you by Fios TV, Internet, and Phone. This is Beyond Cable. This is Fios. the man they call Big Game James. James Shields goes to the Rays 4-1, 3 even ERA. Andy Pettit having a tremendous season, 5-0, 1.79. Now, our coverage on Yes starts at 6. The batting practice show, pregame at 6:30. No, I'm sorry. Tomorrow, the coverage totally is on My 9 at 7. I'm sorry, My 9 at 7 o'clock tomorrow. But on Friday with the Met game, the BP show starts at 6 from Citi Field. 6:30 is our pregame show. And the game is on the Yes Network, and big post game after the Mets against the Yankees. First game of 6 in the Subway Series. Here's B.J. Upton. High fly ball, fairly deep center. Gardner puts it away. Tagging is Longoria. He'll go to third. So 2 outs here in the 7th, and that's going to do it for A.J. Burnett. He's thrown 116 pitches. And with Hank Blaylock due up, Boone Logan's going to get the call. So a struggle for A.J. Burnett. He pitched into the 7th inning, which is more than you thought he would do when he was pitching in the 4th. So that's somewhat of a Pyrrhic victory as the Rays lead 6-2. Come on back. And all of that adds up to 6-2 Rays as A.J. Burnett departs and gives way to Boone Logan.
That little tease there, courtesy of Josh Isaac and all the people on tape.
Yeoman work.
Oh, my goodness. Great stuff.
Gabe Kapler will pinch hit for Hank Blaylock. Runner at third with 2 outs.
I wonder who the DJ is who picks the music, too.
I think it's all Josh.
Yeah. That truck must be jumping down.
High fly ball, right field. Ramiro Pena is there, and he'll put it away for the final out. of the 7th. No runs to hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base at the end of 6 1/2. Time for the 7th inning stretch here at the stadium. Yankees are trailing this one 6-2, but will stay right here and honor America in the Bronx.
Silent prayer as we remember the servicemen and women who are serving our country at home and around the globe. Thank you. Now, please join in as we listen to Kate Smith's rendition of God Bless America.
I got an extra reason.
55 years?
Wow. Verizon Wireless scoreboard 6-2. Tampa Bay leads the Yankees. 55 years. So let's see. That would be 1955. Pitch to Brett Gardner. Is a strike.
You mean the Brooklyn Dodgers are winning? They won the World Series that year.
Yeah. Well, that didn't happen in D.C. tonight. That one's driven deep to right. Fair ball, it's gone. It is a foul ball.
I was talking earlier about every once in a while, Brett Gardner's going to load up on one on the inner half. A little spinner, looked like a little cutter. He's just a little too quick. But that'll keep Cormier away from that inside corner. So near and yet so far.
Count 1-2. Yankees threatened in the 6th inning. First, A-Rod led off with the home run, and then the Yankees ended up loading the bases. See Grant Balfour warming up for Derek Jeter, and Derek hit a ground ball short to end the inning. That one is popped up. Shallow center. Bartlett will make the play for the first out. This Sunday, rock out with your favorite Bombers on a new Yankees on Deck presented by Topps Attacks. A.J. Burnett and Phil Hughes getting their licks at the Rock and Blues Academy. And A-Rod gives you tips on how to develop your speed. The Emmy-winning Yankees on Deck is all new Sunday at noon, only on Yes. Here's Mark Teixeira. He was 0 for 3 against Wade Davis. Shift is on again for Teixeira. And again, he hits into it. That's the shortstop, and a nice play by Bartlett as he flips it with his glove for the second out. And that's the second time that Teixeira's done that. Did the same thing in the fifth.
And you can see Bartlett on the move, not bothering to use the hand, just flips it out of the glove. You know, Michael, I think he's one of the more underrated shortstops in the league. I mean, he can steal bases. He's got some power. Pretty good fielder.
I thought that was one of the rare mistakes that the Twins made in terms of evaluating, because they've been looking for a shortstop, and Bartlett could have been doing for them what he's doing for the Rays.
Yeah, he really came into his own. Not only that, they got Matt Garza, too, in that trade.
They gave up Delman Young, but I think that they had given up on him.
Well, they had enough outfield.
Yep. The 0-1. Alex fouls it away. November 28, 2007 is when the trade took place, and Bartlett, Garza, and Eduardo Moreland acquired by Tampa Bay, and the Twins got Brendan Harris, Jason Pretty, and Delman Young. The 0-2. Strike 3. Alex Rodriguez down looking. Then a 1-2-3 inning for Lance Cormier as the Yankees go down in order. And we go to the 8th inning. Tampa Bay 6 and the Yankees 2 on Yes. Is brought to you in part by J&R Music and Computer World and by Toyota, the official hybrid vehicle of the New York Yankees. Boone Logan got the final out of the 7th. He's still in there. He'll face John Jaso. Logan deals outside, 1-0. The 1-0. There's a strike.
Jaso's known for his good batting eye. On base percentage over 40%. He's actually walked more than he has struck out.
The 2-1. Count 3-1. And the pitch. Foul back. Jaso's played so well. What happens when Shopik comes back? Because they like Shopik, and Navarro is really struggling at the plate. What could you do? Yeah. Tough call.
Somebody's going to have to make that decision. Andrew Friedman, the Executive Vice President, Baseball Operations. You're right, Michael. That's not going to be an easy decision because they went and acquired Shopik.
And Jaso works a walk. So he's been on base 3 times tonight. 2 hits and a walk.
Pinch hitter here.
Sean Rodriguez is going to pinch hit for Reed Brignac.
Michael, we did a couple of games that involved the Rays early in spring training, and he couldn't get him out. And he actually made the ball club, but right now hitting just .217. I believe he had like 5 home runs in the first 10 spring training games.
And he hit in the high 400s for the entire spring training.
And then the bell rang.
Got him from the Angels system. And there he hammers one into left field. That's a base hit. It's going to go to the wall. Randy Wynn will play it out there. Jaso's being waved home. The throw from Jeter is not in time. It's an RBI double by Sean Rodriguez, and now the Rays lead 7-2.
It appeared that Jaso was going to stop at third. First of all, the pitch is in the middle of the plate, following a base on balls. It happens quite often, and Rodriguez was ready. There's a little bobble by Randy Wynn, and that might have been the difference, is the reason why they sent him. Watch Jaso get to third. I thought there was a bit of a hesitation here. Looks like he's slowing down. Yep, and now they send him. That is Tom Foley. There's only been one other third base coach with a team longer than him.
Going to tell us who it is later?
When we come back.
All right. We'll be back as Logan departs. Yankee season on yes. We are asking you to vote along with us for the Chevy Player of the Game. You can text your vote to 58772 or vote online at yesnetwork.com. Tonight's candidates are number 1, Alex Rodriguez. Number 2, Jason Bartlett. Number 3, Evan Longoria. Number 4, John Jaso. You can vote now. Make your voice heard. Standard text messaging rates apply. The big leagues indeed here at Yankee Stadium. And Mark Melanson is back in the big leagues. Called up before yesterday's game. And now facing the top of the Rays order with a runner on second. Nobody out. Rays lead 7-2. Bunted. Third baseline, but foul. That can't be called from the bench, can it, Kenny? Why don't you just try to break the game up?
I don't think it is. When you're up by 5 runs, you should be swinging away. You should kind of stop stealing bases late in the ball game. But that's, part of the makeup of the Rays of stealing. They've got 6 stolen bases tonight, and a few of them come late in the ball game with a decent lead.
I mean, if that's called from the bench, again, it's probably not. But if it's not, then you got to pull Bartlett aside and go, well, what are you doing? It's the 8th inning. Break the game open. We've got a 5-run lead. What do you need more for? 5 runs already survives the grand slam. Very odd. We'll see if he bunts again. Doesn't this time, and fouls it back. So I guess that was on his own.
It was on his own. Maybe he caught A-Rod back. Remember, this guy's trying to build up his batting average. He came in hitting .242. Multi-hit game gets him going in the right direction. He's 1 for 2 tonight. He's raised his average. He's been really struggling. Let's see. 11 for his last 60. So he's going for that second hit.
Count 1-2. Melanson made only 1 appearance this year. May 2nd against the White Sox. 2 innings, 2 hits, 3 runs. 2 of them earned, 1 home run. In AAA, 4-1, 2.74, 31 strikeouts in 23 innings. That's in 15 games. Grounded through the right side for a base hit. Rodriguez rounds third. He's coming home. The throw from Pena is wide, and that allows Bartlett to go to second. It is 8-2 Rays.
So in the long run, Bartlett does get his second hit. As he sneaks one through the right side, look at Pena. Only the second time in his career he's been in right field. Made a decent throw, offline. But it allowed Bartlett to get the second base. That was the good news, good throw. Bad news, run of the guy who hit it went to second.
Pitch to Crawford is outside. Well, you can see the Rays don't take their foot off the gas pedal. And that's why they have the best record in the game right now, trying to go 29-11. 29 wins they could have in their first 40 games.
It takes like a perfect game to slow these guys down. They were the team that was on the field when the Dallas prayed to the A's through the perfect game.
And last year they got perfect games by Mark Burley.
Yeah.
Now you know that they're going to slow down. I don't mean stealing bases, but they're going to slow down in terms of winning. You don't win 29 out of every 40 games because you'd be setting all-time records. Let's just round it off and say they won 20 out of 40. Well, there are 4 quadrants to a baseball season plus 2 games. They're not winning 120 games. But at 29, you know what? 116's been done. Mm-hmm. The Mariners did it. The Yankees won 114 in 1998. But I don't think playing against this American League East, they're going to win 116 games. Crawford 1 for 3, hit by a pitch. RBI, run scored.
Illustrate your point, Michael. American League East is the only division with 4 teams that have won 20 games already. Several others have 3 teams, but the American League East, even the Red Sox, start tonight at 500, 20-20. But they've won 20 games. You win this division, you earn it.
That one's driven out to right center field. Giving chase is Brett Gardner. He's there. Tagging is Bartlett, and he will move to third. So he's at third base with 1 out.
See, if Bartlett comes around to score, that's where that throw to home plate, where you couldn't get the runner, Bartlett was able to go to second. You got to get it near the cutoff man so he can at least fake the cutoff, and that'll hold the runner at first. So what happens is now the Rays have a runner at third. The Yankees have to bring the infield in, and they've got a chance to build another run.
Here's Ben Zobrist. Count 1-0. So put into perspective how good the start is for the Rays. If they win tonight, they're up 8-2. And then they proceed to play 500 baseball the rest of the way. Just 500. They win 90 games. There's a strike. And my guess is, watching them, they're not going to play 500 baseball.
They don't have a 500 pitching staff.
Mm-hmm. Slaps a single to left field. Bartlett will score, so Zobrist picks up an RBI, and now it's 9-2 Tampa Bay.
I told you Zobrist is another Ray who's been struggling. Well, he's coming on this month, but in April he wasn't hitting much of anything. But he's well over 300 in the month of May. He's got 2 hits tonight.
Here's Evan Longoria, 2 for 3, couple of ribbies, breaking ball by Melanson, 1-0. Count 1-2. The Yankees are in danger of losing back-to-back games at home for the first time since last September 11th and 12th, and that was against the Orioles. So go figure that. The Yankees have just been great at home since the place opened. The 1-2.
Yeah, their overall record right here in this ballpark has been fantastic over quite a spell now. 85 games.
The last 85 games, they're 64-21.
Yeah, that's some baseball in your own ballpark. That's sending a lot of people home happy. But it doesn't appear tonight's going to be one of them.
And the count 3-2. It's amazing when you see Melancon's numbers in AAA.
Yeah.
And the Yankees like his stuff. But it doesn't translate up here. I don't know if it's simply inconsistency or he feels overwhelmed. It doesn't make sense.
The lineups are deeper in the major leagues. I mean, you get to a certain point in minor league, even at the AAA level, get to certain points. And what happens is that you run into guys who are just going to make their outs. They're not as accomplished hitters, and they'll chase pitches out of the zone more than big league hitters will.
Right back up the middle, a base hit for Longoria.
Here in the big leagues, too, like you see this base hit by Longoria, when you throw a pitch towards the middle of the plate, these guys are the best hitters in the world. They're going to hit it. Target is low and away, but you can see Cervelli reach towards the middle. And good extension on the swing by Longoria. And bam, line drive, he hits it hard, gets himself a base hit. Now, he's one of the better hitters in the game. But even some of the guys who aren't that good at the big league level, they're going to hit the ball hard.
I mean, Melancon is out there to take some punches. They can't afford to use another relief pitcher.
Now, Pena's up here. The pressure's on him. He hasn't been hitting. He does not have a hit tonight. He is the only Ray that does not have at least one hit in this game.
One man out, first and second, 3 runs in. The Yankees trail 9-2. That one is skied to deep center. Going back is Gardner, and he makes the play. Tagging is Zobrist. He's rounding third. He's coming home, and he will score. So a set fly for Carlos Pena, and the Rays lead 10-2. This team does not stop running. So a great play by Gardner that took him to the ground. He couldn't get the ball in quick enough.
Out there by the 408 side, and because he had to leave his feet, you can watch Zobrist at second and third. Give third base coach Tom Foley a heads up too. He makes the catch. Zobrist has some speed. They're checking to see if he left too soon, but obviously he did not. And now it's going to be a 10-2 ball game. See, they're going to have to do this properly. Get on the rubber. And then step off. Yeah. And now throw to second. Did he leave too soon? No. So the run will count, and it's 10-2. Now, I was talking about Tom Foley before. He's been the third base coach. Watch Zobrist. Back to the bag. Ball's in the glove, and he's on his way. And Tom Foley's going to keep him going. Foley's been that third base coach for the Rays for 9 years. And before that, he was in the organization. As we look at Gardner run it down. Heck of a play at center by Brett Gardner. Leaves his feet, but because he had to do that, that gave Zobrist time to round third and head for home. Wow.
That one is skied out to right field. Giving chase is Pena. He dives, can't make the play. And that'll bounce into the seats for a double. That's going to stop Longoria at third. So a double for Upton. Now, Kenny, you never answered the question before. Who's been a base coach longer in baseball?
Jose Oquendo with the Cardinals, 10 years. A long-time coach for Tony La Russa. There's the effort. You know, you're thinking about it. The Yankees are running low on outfielders. You got outfielders diving all over the place, and it's because of the competitive nature of players. When they're on the field, they're taught to play hard.
Kapler swings and misses.
We're talking about how aggressive the Rays are. Now here's Zobrist. Tags at second. Remember, Gardner's going to have to leave his feet to make this catch. He's running hard, and he gets the green light from Foley. And that's the 10th run.
The 0-1. This is the second time tonight that the Tampa Bay Rays have batted around. They did it in the 4th inning, scoring 4 runs, and they scored 4 runs again here in the 8th. They have runners on 2nd and 3rd with 2 men out. Foul back. Kapler's had an unusual career. He actually retired for a year and became a manager in the Red Sox system. He was still young, decided he missed the game, and came back. And since that time, he's played 3 years since retiring. Two. Strike 3. Kapler down looking. But the Rays score 4 runs on 5 hits. 2 men left. We go to the bottom of the 8th. 10-2 Tampa Bay. Game, why get a car when you can own a Land Rover?
Because of the distance on this one, A-Rod clocks one. And that's going to be our Land Rover drive of the game, his 6th home run of the year.
Well, the Yankees have some ground to try to make up. They're down by 8 runs as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. 10-2. It's been all Tampa Bay from the very first batter, Jason Bartlett, when he hit that home run against A.J. Burnett. They have not looked back. 1-0, 2-0, 6-0, 6-1, 6-2, and now 10-2. Here's Cano. That one is lofted into right center field. It's going to be a base hit. It gets past Upton, and it rolls to the wall. That's Cano with a leadoff double. It's Cano's 3rd hit of the night, and that's a good sign for the Yankees.
Yeah, he, as I said before, he was out here early today with Kevin Long, the Yankee hitting coach, working on his stroke. And his 3rd hit of the night. He had 2 last night, so 5 hits in the last 2 games for Robinson Cano, who slipped into a little bit of a funk, and now maybe starting to get it back together as he races one by B.J. Upton in right center field. It's his 11th double of the year.
Here's Cervelli, a double in the 2nd, a sac fly to right in the 4th, and then he wrapped into a 5-4-3 double play. New second baseman is Sean Rodriguez. He had that pinch hit double. Grounded to short. Bartlett. And they get Cervelli for the first out. Now, the interesting thing is nobody ever wants to throw a pity party for any big market team. I talked about it on my radio show today. People go, well, how could you make excuses for the Yankees? Well, it's not excuses, it's fact. I know they still run A-Rod out there. They still run Teixeira, Jeter, and Cano. But this is a shell of the team that ran out there on spring training or the opening day. There's no Posada. There's no Granderson. There's no Johnson. There's no Swisher. And the guys that are on the bench, Swisher and Posada, are unplayable people. So this is not the Yankees right now. It's just not. And it's not an excuse, and it's something that you could see coming because they've been worn down with injuries, and they've got to tread water and remain competitive until they get those people back.
Yeah, the thing about it, you can survive missing some guys for a few days. You know, if it's one of those little injuries where you're nicked up a bit and you need a couple of days. But when you start missing a week or more, then it starts to be a little more telling as to what's happening with your ball club.
And when you start playing depth every day, that's when you get in trouble. There's a reason it's depth and it's not in the starting lineup. Well, now all of a sudden your depth are starters. And you can see why they're depth and they're not everyday players. Hot shot to short. Bartlett catches it in the air for the second out. Boxing is returning to Yankee Stadium. Come out to the stadium on Saturday, June 5th for the Stadium Slugfest when the undefeated WBA Super Welterweight champion Yuri Foreman defends his title against three-time world champion Miguel Cotto. Get your tickets today at Yankees.com/boxing to see the history of boxing continue at this great venue, Yankee Stadium. So Pena hit the ball right on the screws, but Bartlett made the play, and that'll bring up Miranda. Pitch low to Miranda. Miranda's 0 for 2 with a walk. No, with Posada out, it takes away the opportunity for Girardi to have Posada DH, make your lineup a little longer, and have Cervelli behind the plate.
So Posada's like a 2 hitters in 1 being a switch hitter when he DHs. You don't have to worry about making changes.
Be interesting to see what the Yankees do over the next day or so. We mentioned this earlier. They play National League games. Starting on Friday, they play 3 games against the Mets. You cannot go into a National League city with the bench the Yankees presently have without 2 guys being able to play but still on the active roster. And Yankee GM Brian Cashman knows it, and manager Joe Girardi knows it, and they're either going to have to get healthy or they're going to have to go on the DL.
Pitching changes are more frequent in National League games because you pinch hit for them. You get the opportunity with men on base and your pitcher comes up, you send a hitter up off the bench.
And right now, starting in today's game, they had 1 guy to send up, and that was Ramiro Pena, because they're only playing with 3 guys on the bench and 13 pitchers. And you know he's young, and he's done a nice job, but he's in there every day, Francisco Cervelli. And then you have to hope, well, something doesn't happen to him. And with the way it is right now, the Yankees would bring up another catcher, but they really don't have anybody ready. Chad Moeller is not on the 40-man roster, and he's not playing that well at Grant Wilkes-Barre. You're not bringing up Montero. Romine is a very highly touted prospect, and he could probably do the job defensively, but not offensively, and he's not on the 40-man roster.
Although I was talking to James Rowson tonight, who'll be taking over for Kevin Long, because Kevin has to go to see his son's graduating from high school, and James Rowson is the roving hitting instructor in the Yankees organization. He's here. He's here already. And he was telling me that Austin Romine had really been hitting the ball. So not only is he a good defensive catcher, maybe his hitting is starting to catch up to it. We saw a little bit of it in spring training.
And Montero had been struggling offensively at AAA, and the other day I saw he picked up a grand slam. He had actually been benched for a couple of games, and maybe that got his mind straight, and he's starting to hit now too. The Yankees have a lot of catchers in the minor leagues, but they're not ready to come up here at this point. They might be future stars. Strike three, Miranda down looking. So that's going to do it here in the 8th inning. No runs, a hit, no errors, and one man left. Austin Romine hitting .304 at AA. And Jack Curry back in the studio for the W.B. Mason post-game show. Get highlights and analysis of this first game against the Rays. Plus, Kimberly Jones will talk to the team in the clubhouse. It's all coming up later on the W.B. Mason post-game only on Yes. And we'll find out more about the injury to Marcus Thames and how severe that is. The left ankle sprain. He actually tripped over his bat or stepped on his bat after getting a base hit. So we go to the 9th inning, and John Jaso takes a ball from Mark Melanson. Grounded through the right side for a base hit. Jaso with 3 hits. He's been on base 4 times. We had told you as we went to break what Austin Romine's numbers were at AA. 304, 3 homers, 23 ribbies. And Jesus Montero, who's considered one of the best prospects in the minor leagues, not just the Yankee minor league, in the minor leagues. At AAA, 230, 3 homers, and 19 runs batted in. Sean Rodriguez came over to the Rays in the Scott Kazmir deal made toward the end of last year, and that was a 2-pronged deal. Rays thought they had other pitchers that could do what Kazmir could do, and also that got rid of $10 million a year in salary, which was on the books for Kazmir.
They knew the likes of Wade Davis, David Price were in the minor leagues.
And at minimum wage.
under their control for a few years.
And Melanson powers that one by Sean Rodriguez for the first out. This really ticked a lot of people off with the Rays, or fans of the Rays. Well, why are you trading Scott Kazmir? You're giving up. This is just a money deal. Well, turned out they got a good player in Sean Rodriguez and another pitcher and another infielder. And Kazmir hasn't done all that much with the Angels.
I think he's under 500. I think he's 2-4.
Although you watch this Rays team play, Kenny, Rays fans don't have that much to argue about. They don't even turn out to see the team.
Not the way they should.
Not the way they should for a team of this caliber. Let's see if they can turn two on this. There's one on to first. It's a double play. So they double up Jason Bartlett, and that will do it here in the top of the ninth inning. No runs are hit, no errors, and because of the DP, nobody left. We go to the bottom of the ninth, 10-2 Rays. Sonnenstein, and it tells you how deep their rotation is. Andy Sonnenstein's been a starter, and now he pitches out of the bullpen and kind of in mop-up duty, and he's done a pretty good job.
Yeah, pretty good job. Just 11 hits and 16 in the third innings. He's not a particularly hard thrower, but he's got excellent control. You can see just 3 walks and 16 in the third. That was his modus operandi when he was a starter. And now bringing that excellent control out of the bullpen, throwing strikes.
Well, the Yankees have really not been in this game. They had one opportunity to really get in it. That was in the 6th inning. They're down 6-2. They had the bases loaded with 2 outs, and Jeter was at the plate against Lance Cormier, and he hit a hard ground ball to Jason Bartlett. That was really the only time that the crowd could get excited. Just didn't work out for the Yankees. A.J. Burnett didn't have his best stuff. He hung in there and pitched into the 7th inning, but didn't have great command, let's put it that way, and that really hurt the Yankees today. So they have 3 outs here in the bottom of the 9th inning to try to score 8 runs. Randy Wynn leads off and takes a pitch high. And tomorrow, James Shields against Andy Pettit. That's going to be on My 9 at 7 o'clock. Fouled away. Well, they announced the crowd tonight. Tickets sold 43,283, and as you can see around the ballpark, many of them, most of them have left. One and two.
Little cutter from Sonnenstein hit the inside corner.
Tried to pull an outside pitch and grounds it to Rodriguez, and there's one away.
This is one of those games through the Yankees, and they absorbed a pretty good pasting tonight. Maybe even absorbed another injury to a player in Marcus Thames. But you got to have a short memory. You talk about closers having short memories. You got to be able to turn the page in this game. Baseball is you can't have the highs too high after a win or the lows too low after you lose. You got to come right back the very next day.
That one's grounded to third. Longoria gets Jeter for the second out. Hey, stick around for the postgame show with Bob and Jack and Kim to find out who's tonight's Chevy player of the game. So with 2 down, that's going to bring up Brett Gardner. Gardner walked, single, grounded to second, and popped to short. In the first inning, Gardner walked and essentially was picked off. He took off for second, so it scored a caught stealing. But that, like the home run by Bartlett, was kind of a portent of things to come. The kind of night the Yankees were going to have. Count 1-1. That one is slapped into left center field. It is a base hit. Cut off there by Upton. And Gardner thought about getting 2, but hustles back. He realized, hey, we're down by 8. And if I ever got thrown out at second, I could just keep running.
Thrown out at second to end the ball game?
Yep.
I've seen worse. Here's Gardner taking that big turn Michael was talking about. He slams on the brakes and hits for safety.
Funny thing, I think he would have made it stand up.
I think he would have made it too. But he's right. You know, don't take a chance. I've seen players try and steal third with 2 outs in the ninth and get thrown out. Game over.
Here's Teixeira, a rough night for him. He is 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts and 2 soft ground balls to the shortstop, who's on the second base side of the bag. No one holding on Gardner. Count 2-0. Mark came into the game 9 for his last 27, so hitting .333. But he has struggled tonight. And the count 3-0. Alex Rodriguez with the home run tonight. He is on deck. And Teixeira walks on 4 pitches. So he finally gets on base tonight. And that gives A-Rod another swing. Not many things for Girardi to do on that card. Doesn't really have a bench right now. A-Rod hit a home run on the blue part underneath the Mohegan Sun Sports Bar. And then the ball dropped into Monument Park. And for A-Rod, that was his 6th home run of the year. That's where it hit.
There's only been one player that's hit that. That's Russell Brandon. Hit the
actually hit the black part.
Yeah,
right?
The tinted windows. Almost restaurant quality. Here's a look what Michael's talking about. Just over the. It looks like it's padded under there, isn't it? Well, that ball was smoked.
So now 2-0 for Rodriguez. There's a ground ball up the middle. Grabbed there by Bartlett. They don't get the force. Everybody is safe. So Alex Rodriguez gets a hit thanks to the hustle of Mark Teixeira.
Playing him the pull, you can see Bartlett. The ball was not hit very hard. It was a broken bat. That was why he was able to get to it. There's the flip, and you can see Teixeira's in there easily. And if you're A-Rod, you look over towards second and thank your teammate for the hustle.
You know, if you saw that shot, if he goes to first base, A-Rod's out by 10 feet. And Bartlett threw to first rather than second.
I was following the play at second.
A-Rod was kind of just going half speed toward first base.
He might have been too far off balance to make that throw.
Maybe. Here's Cano. Bases loaded, 2 outs. And the third base umpire, Campos, said he went. Take a look at this, Kenny. You don't even see A-Rod in the picture. He's still not in the picture when this toss is made. It's still not, and still not, and still not. And there he is. The 0-1. 0-2. Cano has been the bright spot for the Yankees today with 3 hits.
Here's another look. There's the broken bat. He thinks there's going to be the force at second.
You know what? He might have slowed when he saw that Bartlett was going to flip.
Yeah.
So he was running hard out of the box. Gardner's at third. Teixeira at second. Rodriguez is at first. And the 0-2 to Cano, way outside. The 1-2. Hot shot up the middle, a base hit up the bat of Cano. Scoring is Gardner. They hold Teixeira up at third. RBI single for Cano. He has 4 hits tonight, 4 for 5, and the Rays now lead 10-3.
Yeah, after flying out to center his first time, 4 consecutive hits, 2 singles, a double, and now another single. And give Cano a run batted in. Man, solid line drive. And just about all his hits tonight, Michael, been hit on the nose. And like I said, when I got here at 3:30 this afternoon, he was out on the field taking extra batting practice, working on quickness.
Here's Francisco Cervelli. Four hits for Cano, ties a career high. Two and 0. Joaquin Benoit beginning to throw.
Remember him in Texas. Well, the whole idea is just to keep the line moving if you can. Nobody likes to make that last out in the ball game.
There's a strike to Cervelli, and the count 3-1. and he walked in a run. Teixeira will touch up, an RBI for Cervelli. It's his 17th of the year, second of the game. And now the Yankees trail 10-4. Jim Hickey comes out to talk. Well, maybe this ninth inning leaves a little bit of a better taste in the mouth for the Yankees.
Yeah, I always felt that when you're behind by quite a few runs, if you show some late foot in the ball game, score some runs, it's almost a reminder to the other team that we'll be back tomorrow. And we're not the pushovers that you think we are. As Jeff Nelson, the home plate umpire, said, can we break up this reunion?
Here's Pena. He took over as a pinch runner in the 6th inning when Marcus Thames suffered a very odd injury. He ripped a single through the left side of the infield and then dropped the bat as he was moving up the first baseline and then stepped on the bat with his left foot. Made it to first, but he turned his ankle, so he has a sprained ankle. He had a strike.
Here's what Michael's talking about. Solid base hit. Throws the bat out in front of him and then steps on it. And man, I have never seen that before.
The 0-1. Now, people sometimes throw the bat when they hit, but they throw behind him. I've never seen that in front. So now the Yankees down to their final strike with Pena at the plate. The 0-2. Line drive to center field. It is going to bounce past Upton. This might clear the bases. No, they're going to hold Cervelli up at third. Pena goes to second with a 2-run double. And now the Yankees trail 10-6.
Second time that Pena's hit the ball hard. He lined out to shortstop in his first at bat, and this was a sinking line drive that Upton thought he had a chance to make the play on. He plays pretty shallow to begin with, but this one had some overspin. It hits off his body. The Yankees going to pick up 2 runs. Upton's looking for it. Zobrist is coming over and telling him where it is. And this is actually going to knock Sonnenstein out of the game. Here comes Upton. He thinks he has it. A little bit of a misstep maybe as he changed direction. And the Yankees get 2 runs.
Well, they're going to call on Joaquin Benoit. He will face Juan Miranda. Yankees still have a pulse. Stick around. game, and he's about to start sweating. And Joe Girardi probably never thought that he'd have a chance in this one. Let's put it this way. If one more runner gets on, that would bring the tying run to the plate in a game that the Yankees were losing by 8 coming into the 9th inning. Joaquin Benoit has been outstanding. 6 games, 6 and 2/3 innings, 9 strikeouts, and he is not allowed to run. His last appearance, 1 and 2/3 innings against Cleveland on May 17th. He struck out all 5 batters he retired. He's going to face Juan Miranda with runners on 2nd and 3rd with 2 outs.
Yeah, you might remember Benoit with the Texas Rangers. He'd been with their organization for 14 seasons. And he missed all of last year. Shoulder surgery.
This Yankee rally in the 9th inning, all of it coming after the first 2 batters were retired.
Remember Benoit with the Rangers, they tried him as a starter, a reliever. Well, whatever surgery they performed on that shoulder, the first pitch was 95 miles an hour. We've talked about it several times, how as we look at Grant Balfour in the Rays bullpen, how shoulder surgery is much more delicate for pitchers as opposed to elbow surgery, which is becoming more and more routine.
The 0-1. 1-1. Nine relief appearances and 5 starts lifetime against the Yankees. Benoit 2-3 with a 5.31 ERA. Long set. And the 1-1. Fouled away, 1-2. 97 miles an hour. Sign that doctor up who performed that surgery. So Cervelli's at 3rd. Pena is at 2nd. The doctor is Dr. Timothy Kremchek, who works with the Reds. I think he's their team doctor.
Cervelli could take a lead halfway home.
And the pitch. 2-2.
I mean, Longoria is playing shortstop. Cervelli is over at 3rd. Here's the closest fielder to Cervelli.
Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The pitch, swung and a miss, and that'll do it. Got him on a change. So the Yankees threatened here in the 9th. They score 4 runs on 4 hits, and they leave 2 runners on. And Miranda swings over the top of a changeup that just had the bottom drop out. So a tough night for the Yankees. The score seems a little bit closer than it was. But we'll come back with the player of the game. And then after that, the post-game show with Bob and Jack and Kimberly. Stay tuned.
job right there. The big question.